love Friday nights, and we are live. Benjamin Iketia here. Today, it's an extended show. We call it the special edition. This might be one of the longest standing traditions of the sports desk. Don't call me. The transfer deadline day show. A lot on the plate today. So first half, we have regular Sports Panorama. I'll be telling you about the Black Stars. Otoado is in time to take on the old rival, Manchester United, at the Theatre of Dreams. And like I've been saying all week, we are doing a jersey giveaway. Yeah, the evening just got better. Predict correctly the score of that Man United versus Liverpool game. Win a Man United or Liverpool jersey. That's as simple as it is. So yes, the first correct prediction will be picked, and then that person will win the jersey. Send us your entries from now. Man United, Liverpool, send me a correct prediction. Win a jersey. We'll close the prediction portal at 8:30. Remember, Sports Panorama is proudly brought to us by Twisco. Yes. So we'll be getting into all of that. On the transfer front, a couple of interesting things are happening. Oh, Charlie. If you are a Liverpool fan, like I'm saying, we snatched Chiesa from the jaws of death. He was heading to the jaws of Hades. Barcelona. No money Barcelona. How can you tell me this story? Chief Chiesa is in town. The cop. I'm just telling you, if you're a Liverpool fan, Chief Chiesa is in town. If you are a Nigerian, you might as well call him Oba Chiesa. Inai Chiesa. Oh, Charlie, too much sauce. Oh, Charlie. Inai. Coach, your mic is off. Your mic is off to your prayer time. Chef Chiesa, Don Chiesa, Capo Chiesa, Chief Chiesa, Emperor Chiesa. Oh, Federico. Ow. No, it's about to be lit. And then there is a Ghanaian heading to Barcelona, La Masia specifically, to play for the junior team. I'll be telling you something about that. Yeah, Achimota School have claimed the boy already. He says he's an Akora, so we'll continue the discussion from there. I'll give you some info on that. But coach, it looks like in Blue Town, there's still chaos. Blue Town. You see, today is the day of the bell. Yes. Let me bring out the iconic bell. In fact, as far as the sports desk is concerned, this bell might as well be a member of the desk. For those who are watching, I'm on Instagram Live, so this is the bell. If you're watching me, this is the bell. Shout outs to our people also watching via YouTube, our people in the UK, Nigeria, from wherever you are. Big shout outs to all of you. We are on till 11 p.m. Ghana time, like I stated earlier. So it's a double dose of Sports Panorama and then transfer deadline day. Don't call me coach.
No more. You see, before I pray, the Twisco people, I am told that if you go into the Chelsea locker room right now, in the boardroom of Chelsea, where Todd Bowley and co are seated, and they are pushing the buttons on several deals, right beside them, no more. I'm in Twisco.
Oh,
because it's not me now. Cash 11 p.m.
You mean Bowley is trying Twisco? No.
He sat on the chair since 6 a.m. today.
Yeah.
The only energy chocolate drink that has kept him awake is Twisco. Which confirms that Twisco is both domestic and what? Foreign.
International Twisco.
Lakabo, international Twisco. It's official. And I've told the people that, look, to prove what I'm saying, take a picture of Todd Bowley with his Twisco closer to him and his glass of what? Twisco. She had it from a shell like that.
No more Solomon Hammer.
You are Zebal.
Zebal.
Nama so ha. Wakobele ya che. O manche yeli aba. Mene no ba wo ba. Mene ake awo mi. Won wo mi amambi.
Thank you.
God, 8:30. Don't change the dial.
Nope.
Stay here.
Nobody
going all the way to what? 11.
Nobody going anywhere.
It's transfer deadline day.
Thank you.
Yo wa wo wale. How onile kedwomo. Belema woda. No one wo fen wo gbe am ya no kwale mi. Many be fail wo ba ka me. Many league get transparency be me le mo no ba na me le. To be ni minister you transparency ke fairness say e be league me. Me ne kan jaman dumo. Oh yo wa Jomo Raheem Sterling she ni bi e shele no mo. Kieza me na me ba Sancho me ata team ana na ya. Raheem Sterling odomi okudomi okpasashi. Fe se na mo be. Sancho odomi okudomi Jomo me. Yo wa time he ko no kama wo. Chame ne fe mobo. Sterling ke Jadon Sancho. Beni man you shwe Chelsea shwe amena he na me ya. Jomo ame ko na me na he. Na me trouble na me ke na me share. Ene me ke ni bi pi wo biobo. Ye Yesu ba. Amen.
Amen. So, of course, Twisco, they say, go out there, get the all-new, exciting chocolate beverage drink. Yeah, it comes in all sizes. There's the can as well. All you need to do is add your hot water, stir, and drink. Contains B vitamins, vitamin C, D, iron, and many more. Winner big, of course, make it very possible for you to enjoy your Fridays and weekends. Yeah, Charlie, they know how boys and girls do their thing. And so they have placed the draw at the end of the week. Yeah, where nobody can advise you. You take your money and you go and do what you want. Now we're excited to announce this week, I'll be sharing the winners with you. There's a free ticket for anybody who also downloads the Winner Big app on both iOS and the App Store. So yeah, you get your free ticket to enter the draw. And of course, the draw gives you 2 chances like we've stated. Just dial star 920 star 66 hash and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. And with just 5 Ghana cedis, you can get yourself a ticket and stand a chance to win 500 cedis daily. But wait, there's more. Your ticket also enters you into our weekly draw for an amazing 1,000 cedis. That's right. Every week, 1,000 cedis. 1 ticket, 2 chances. Winner big, that's what it is. Hold on. 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Send in your thoughts via text, WhatsApp, and Telegram. Tell me about what has caught your eye as far as sports this week is concerned. Is it the Black Stars? Is it the Congress? Is it the transfer activity happening? What players are you looking to see your team sign before deadline day ends? Let me start off with what concerns us locally down here so we can quickly move that out the way. It's the GFA's Congress. It was a 2-day thing. Monday, Tuesday, Ghanaman Soccer Center of Excellence. The FA handed over some facilities and did some things. Bernard Abe was on the ground. Abe was good.
Oh, solid. Everything positive.
Charlie Bibi Abokoze.
Wait, check the results.
I don't even know. Which results? I was just about which results.
Document the menu. I check results.
Thank you. Talk to me a bit about the Congress, man. You were there. What were the biggest issues that were debated? For anybody who was interested in that Congress, what are the big takeaways? Let's get into it.
First off, team is winning the 12th man. They know that the 12th man, which is the funds, is a big issue when it comes to Ghana football.
Okay.
So they surrounded, thoughts around the 12th man. Then they say fixing.
How to fix the abysmal patronage of our local league.
That's where we are getting to. Fixing the fundamentals.
Okay.
They should stop the bribery
No,
league that they are playing. They have come for them.
Relax. Relax. Let him make solid progress. I don't want a lot of interruptions. I'll give good. So don't interrupt him. Let's-
Compromise league. Talk about. I
Thank
mean, can be happy.
Thank you.
How about Silver?
Talk to us.
And
I like how we're starting off.
from now to 11.
Yes, let's get into it. Let's get into
And
it. Talk to us.
consolidating our gains, they say. So this what the whole Congress revolved around.
Okay.
Now, in winning the 12th man, they were able to identify some of the challenges the league is having. From the premium products, the Ghana Premier League,
Yeah.
down to what they want to say they call coach football.
Okay.
They realized that they need to continue investment, or they need to continue that investment in refereeing, officiating.
So is the FA is telling us that they are aware that officiating is or has the potential to undermine our game?
100%, where referees in theoretical exams score single numbers. 3%. That's
Charlie, what do you mean by
I'm
that?
telling you, the FA president himself mentioned.
3%?
Yeah, 3%.
Over what?
100.
How can you tell me this?
Oh, this is the words of the FA president.
Okay, let's make progress.
And it is one of
himself said.
he himself mentioned that.
I will prove that he, together with certain people, are responsible for the way the people officiate our game. You'll finish.
Please go on.
Look,
Make progress.
and they feel it's an area they have to develop. They feel one of the ways, in developing such area is by making referees have a permanent job.
Yeah.
See, in the past, you can find a nurse who is doing a part-time job in officiating the league in Division 1 and what have you. Those in the security as well.
Yeah.
So the FA president is saying in his address that it's an area that in the 2024-2025 Ghana Premier League, the Division 1 League, the Women's Premier League and what have you, this is an area they need to watch and, of course, tackle problems which are emanating from that space.
So officiating definitely.
So
So
officiating.
bringing the fan back into the stadium.
Absolutely.
Officiating.
Officiating.
Okay, let's make progress.
Now, they are saying they are going to, give referees the opportunity to learn.
How so? Elaborate on that for me a
They
little.
are going to improve their refereeing education.
Okay.
And what they say, if you fail to meet certain standard, you drop. So say from Premiership, if you are unable to meet a certain standard and score a certain mark, you drop, then come to Division 1. Then it follows in that order to your exit if you are not really lifting, your game. It's an area that referees will want to look at. Then improve coaching education. Our coaches here in the country,
Yeah.
there are people that when you begin to tell them, things they are not getting right, they begin to take a defensive stand or an approach, and it becomes very difficult for them to accept the errors and learn from. He's saying that they need to improve coaching education. What it means is that there's going to be the introduction of more education or more coaching courses or programs from License D. They're going to intensify the education in that space. Then need to move on to License C, then B, then A. When you get to A, it means that you can coach in the Ghana Premier League. So it's an area they are looking to improve as well. Then they are looking to improve the coaches' engagement after games, the pre and the post-match conferences, how the referees how the coaches communicate what to the lovers of football, i.e. the 12th man. So these are areas that they say they're looking
because
to want to
I mean,
want to
at this
improve.
point, what we do here is that when teams lose matches and they are upset, they decide that they won't do post game presses. When they are happy and they win games, then they will do post game presses.
Then they'll send their assistant coach.
Yeah.
Anyway, make progress. Touch how many points we have more to
good.
go?
I mean, there are a lot of points. This one I've highlighted
A summary,
about
okay.
7. So a summary of the whole stuff.
Somebody's like warming up, so I need to.
No, so they say that. Now, the points that I cooked leads up to what, I mean, it follows in that order.
Yeah, okay.
So from refereeing to coaching, then from coaching to enhancing the club licensing for clubs. In club licensing, it entails a lot.
Okay.
One, you need to have
So
For
there's
example,
the administrative bit, then there's the infrastructure bit.
Absolutely, administrative bit and infrastructure bit. So, for example, for infrastructure, you need to have something like a safe zone in your space. Your pitch needs to be of standard. Your dressing room needs to meet certain standard. Those kind of things, administrative-wise or structure-wise. In terms of administration, your players and their registration and some bit of all of that need to sit in well, and they are looking at improving those standards to meet that of CAF and FIFA. We recall that, for example, the Baba Sports Stadium, that area, when it comes to club licenses, it's a bit technical. For example, if you take the Baba Sports Stadium, we all know that one of the biggest problems is that, look, it's about the pitch. It does not meet standard. The Cape Coast Sports Stadium's pitch might meet the standard, but the room, when you get there, the tiling in the room even needs to meet certain specifications.
Everything about the Baba Yara Sports Stadium has gone to the dogs. You are just being diplomatic.
And he charged the club licensing manager to sit up, that he's not been pleased with.
Didn't they just appoint a new club licensing manager? But how long has he been in office that he should sit up?
He needs to learn. I told you that this area is a bit technical. I've had a lot of seminars about the club licensing stuff from the AFA, so it's a bit technical.
Please wrap it up for us.
I mean, then moving forward, they talked about improving their marketing space. The bits of marketing around the league. They need to make that product attractive.
Are they getting a headline sponsor?
They did not speak about that. They spoke about getting a new TV partner instead.
TV partner.
Yeah. And radio, other media partners to help. For Division 1, they say they're going to get a TV partner.
So they want to sign a TV rights deal for the league, a new TV rights deal to replace what Star Times have left behind.
Absolutely. But in a partnership form, you see, for Star Times, it's a direct TV rights thing, so nobody then comes close. But this one is a partnership. So say you can have different television outlets coming on board as partners.
Sort of like that.
Sort of like that.
What were the conversations around that? Was that conclusive? Did they sound like
the president was sounded very confident when he said that, and he said that specifically for Division 1 league, he said it's assured that we are going to get you a TV partner that's going to get it.
Will it bring in the needed money though? Will it bring in the money they want?
That's the big question. It is the reason why, from the onset from Kurt's administration, I felt that he should have started from that module. Engage the Ghanaian broadcasting entity. Let that company spread your league across. When people have that, when you win the 12-man, that's when, because it's free to air, a lot of people get access to watch, even if it's, excuse my language, something not productive in terms of play or
the football product is not attractive. It's a start.
It is a start. Then when you gain the interest of the people, that's when you sell your product, because by then it would have matured to a certain level. Then you can sell it out there. So they said they're going to look for radio and TV partnership to enhance.
So is the league coming on as
schedule?
No postponement, nothing.
No postponement.
Interesting.
No postponement.
Okay.
And they are going to invest in infrastructure, which they said forward.
They said they handed over some facility. What facility was that?
Handed over a facility.
I saw something like a hostel facility.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the FIFA forward one. Okay, please.
So that's the last point. So they say they're going to invest in infrastructure. They're going to have at the Ghana Soccer Center of Excellence. They already have the pitch that Bet Power produced for them. So shout outs to Bet Power.
Yeah.
A solid one, but it does not have some stuff. They say this is the first phase. They're going to have the stands and then floodlights as well. That aside, they're going to have a 40-bedroom sort of a hostel where the 20 national teams, should anyone visit the facility, is going to use.
Hold on a second. Hold on. This is where it gets interesting. Hold on. So wait, are they telling me that that facility will be sort of Clairefontaine for Ghana? So if we bring Jordan Ayew and Partey down, that is where they will be coming for games.
100%.
That's what the FA says?
That's what the FA says.
Did you see this facility?
The Black Stars. No, I mean, it's...
I saw Kurt in there. There were a couple of videos where I saw the FA and the CEO at the FA. I heard they slept there 2 days.
So behind the block A, B, and C, there's a new facility built.
Yeah.
Can we categorize that as a hostel too? No, some nice structure.
Hey, so this one was not the same facility that people will sleep in.
It was
it's nice. It's beautiful.
No. You see, hold on. You see, we are educating people.
Absolutely.
This facility, the upper brass of the FA slept in, is a completely different facility from the one that was unveiled, or that's part of the FIFA Forward program. Is that what you're saying?
Look, what we are talking about, it's the construction is just about to begin. So
Okay.
there was just cutting of sword for.
So which facility did they say they slept in? So that was a different one. That's the one you're talking about.
That's what I'm
Is that
talking
part of Ghana Man as well?
Yeah, on the same land. They said the land initially was.
So that
100
one be
acres.
an executive suite or what?
Sort of.
Hey, for the upper brass.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
Interesting.
So
I see.
yeah, it's solid. Have nice beds,
So
refrigerator, AC.
what are we getting
have
from that
television.
FIFA Forward thing when it is done? You said
No,
40
so the
seater.
we're going to get the 40 bedroom hostel facility. They're going to build the futsal arena from that space.
Okay.
I spoke with an insider who tells me that they're going to have something like the conference center, sort of.
Okay.
That will be hosting events.
Okay.
They're going to have a clinic.
Hey.
That space.
Hey.
They're going to have a swimming.
You
pool,
saw about all that.
a gym. There was one cutting for that. And
Okay.
there was a machine that was working at hand when we were going for all the sword cutting.
Okay.
Stuff and what have you. So I mean, these are areas in terms of infrastructure.
I see.
Development
I see.
The FA want to highlight.
The Congress was an interesting thing. Coach,
No more.
I see you've been listening keenly.
Actually, people now today.
You see,
But Ben, just quickly before Coach comes
Yeah.
in, Ket said something. I think probably Abeko missed out on that about the national teams.
Okay.
What did he say?
Please touch on that for me.
Ket says
That's not true.
the
Oh,
national.
why
teams-
he's not speaking? Why you say it's not
It's not
true?
true, so I
No,
know
you
it.
can't gag the guy.
Which one is not true?
No, hold on.
Kasa, no,
Please
me
stop.
Kasa.
Please
You know
stop.
money, man, you
He said it.
Ket
Charlie,
says,
Charlie will call security to come
Ket
and take you out.
says
Oh.
our national teams are doing well.
Hey.
Yes.
Not true.
Okay. Okay.
And on Football Made in Ghana, I asked myself this question: are we not in the same country? What
Yeah.
national teams are you referring to? Are you talking about the Black Satellites and the Princesses? What they did at the African Games, clinching
Yeah.
gold?
Yeah.
Is that success?
well, he make at 23.
I mean, come
Maybe
on.
maybe
Basigi
Basigi and Co are going to Colombia, so he thinks that's doing well.
No,
even with that,
but we've always
Very good. Even that we've never qualified
that's
to the
my
next
point.
stage of the competition.
It's a formality.
The black men under your administration, we saw the black maidens. What happened to them? A ban,
You see,
nothing.
it still remains the fact that
So it is still under.
it
So
still-
what is?
it still remains the fact
national
that
teams are
Nathan
progressing?
has dropped more singles in the last 3 years
than what the national
than
teams
this
have done.
FA has won AFCON matches. Coach has
Back-to-back
eaten
group stage exit.
coach has eaten more Mijingoro this week than this FA has won AFCON matches.
I listened to Mr. Okreko and I'm like, no, bro, come again.
How can you tell us this?
Can
one?
you tell us this story?
Anyway, let's talk about the league because that looked like it was central to their plans at the Congress. So first of all, he talked about the poor attendance, of which I think they should take a good part of the blame. He spoke about officiating, which I think is on the brink of undermining our game, which I want you to touch on. But please don't, keep it.
So
keep
adding
it.
the VAR
The coach education.
adding the VAR to
There
the
is
officiating.
nothing.
VR, good. Please talk to us.
There's nothing credible about
the
our
league.
league. Nothing is credible. I repeat, is credible about our league. You see this league? It has been a highly compromised league. It continues to be a highly compromised league. That is why I will not advise anybody to go and watch any of our league matches.
Oh.
I'm telling you. Look, when you are paying for something in Ketia,
Yeah.
I'm giving you my money in return for a product, the product should come with a certain value and a certain quality.
That's true.
Abi, that's it.
That's true.
You don't start a league at a certain standard. And when we get to the business end of the league, then the league becomes highly compromised. And when he talks about officiating, I put it on record. It is the club owners, the FA, they make our referee corrupt.
I think number 9 exposed this.
And it's become even worse.
When
We all thought,
when people appeared in big Duncan MacLeod cloaks,
there you go,
hiding
hiding under
meat pie and coke
That's it.
money.
And
Baben.
The other day I was there.
I said number 9, number 12.
Number 12,
Charlie.
I
Yeah.
said that. Oh, you know the woman who was implicated I was there, and then I also said, "Oh, where's that woman? We haven't heard."
There are two of them. Which one are you talking about? The football person?
Yeah, the football person.
Okay.
Only mention.
Nkasa.
Look, we start every league season in this country
Yeah.
with those who are supposed to qualify from Division 1 and those who are supposed to get relegated predetermined. I'm into football, so I'm telling you this. I'm telling you. Anytime Abeko, you know what? Everybody seated on this round table can attest to what I'm saying. For the sake of votes, election, they can determine that by the time we finish this league season, Division 1 team A, B, C should qualify to the Premier League. Teams A, B, C from the Premier League should get relegated. And do you know how bad it is? When you go and you are watching our league, you are watching the last 10 games of our league season. That is where you begin to cry.
But the FA president admits that.
You see,
And so I am stating on record.
The officiating officials lack, the knowledge of the laws of the game.
Hold on.
Now, a comic
Hold on.
When was the last time they were paid their money?
They are paid. The referees in the Ghana Premier League are paid a little over 1,000, and those in the Division 1 are paid just a little.
And they
over
owe them. There was a time during the season they owe them close to 14 weeks.
Have all their money been
14
settled as we
weeks.
speak?
Yeah. All arrears
Have been settled as we
absolutely.
speak. But you
This
see,
is the man who told us.
and-
This man told us that the referees will be giving their money before they even go and officiate. the game.
Yep.
That's what he told us when he was campaigning. That's
think,
what he told us.
I don't think the cash flow has been smooth.
No, but at the end of the day, if a referee is going to officiate a game and he is supposed to transport himself, get himself where to sleep,
Now they don't
feed
do that.
himself.
Now there's STC. They
In
had a
fact,
partnership.
you see-
There was a partnership.
What?
When I was with Dwarfs,
There was a partnership.
Does it still exist?
So if the partnership still exists, why then do you own the person? Why do you owe them money? Why do you owe them money?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they don't have enough money to.
So the
settle
STC
money.
partner is to transport them.
Yeah.
And the yeni. When they eat, do they sleep in the STC buses? I'm asking. So you say STC
No.
partner.
Make your point. Make your point.
There's a bit of payment for the facilities that they stay into us. So
they pay for that as well.
Absolutely.
For them. Okay.
So then it's left with the payment of
the referees, the money. That's
game.
just good for education.
The
So
point I'm
build your
making is
point.
that
Yeah.
a committee won.
True.
Me chimo akepambele. No more translate that for me in English.
Please translate that.
Me chimo
So
akepambele.
effectively saying that, if you want to blow a whistle,
Yeah.
or you want to whistle, you need to be filled. You
Okay.
you need to be literally.
How do you blow a whistle on
point is-
empty stomach? On empty stomach. That's
point
the
is
point.
But that's a very heavy
Me
problem.
chimo akepambele.
The whistle no go whistle.
How do you do that?
Don't do this.
No, but that is why our league is so bad. Then also, improving. Did he talk about to make sure that the players are paid on time and the amount of? This man told us that when he comes into office, the minimum pay a player in Ghana league will receive is 1,000 Ghana.
He did.
He sat here that day. I sat closest to him here. Baby, nala or not. I mean, send the man to pay on him no liquor. He doesn't know what he doesn't know what he was talking about.
So I mean, according to you, what do they need to do to
Look,
get the new season coming right?
The minister said
they don't have a TV sponsor. They don't have a headline sponsor as we speak.
Do you think people? Do you think corporate Ghana will associate itself with this?
Everybody deserves a second chance to be reborn.
Yeah,
When they second him for a chance to
positioning
be reborn,
themselves
they've
in the-
had so many opportunities to fix this thing. It keep getting worse. This man told us when the Ash Goat and in Thailand, he said people who were involved in the thing were calling him. He said it. And I told them to stop calling me. I'll make sure we'll deal with the matter. That is the way it was handled. RTU could travel from Tamale and come and play with players who are not registered. If I am Twisco, I am Twisco.
You know that matter has died, right?
No, get Twisco, Jimmy.
No, it hasn't.
It hasn't.
The sort of judgment they brought.
Is that
No, some of them
mentioned
don't.
at the Congress, no?
He's dead. Abe, I own that, but they're different microphone. Mommy, come as some tower now. The other.
Oh my goodness.
A very good coach.
Abe, don't interrupt coach again, please.
I actually listened to. I listened.
That
to
matter is dead.
Talk about it.
So if you are looking for a headline spot,
Yeah.
do you think the headlines they'll just wake up and come? I want to sponsor. They will do some background check on the product.
So, coach,
how well is the product out there in the market?
One of the ESCO members of the GFA, I can't put his name out.
Mami more feelings.
No, I can't put his
When
name.
they know you leave his
So,
name.
he said that they are not too focused on getting a headline sponsor for the Ghana Premier League, and what they are focused is what Abeku mentioned: the partnership with a TV station or a radio firm.
To do what?
Yes, so that we can the league would attract
More
eyeballs. And so, and the person was even citing an
Nathan
example
is
with
confused.
the person was citing an example with the Premier League, and that the Premier League has got no headline sponsor. So why are we?
No.
So, do they know that the Premier League in England, even though it is no longer called
The Barclays
do
Premier
they
League.
know that Barclays are still sponsors?
Yep.
Barclays are the
Yep.
official banking sponsors of
So
the
when he
Premier
made that point, I just laughed.
It was a different structure they decided to go with. It doesn't really change much.
Yes,
In fact, the Premier League have become a more valuable and a more powerful
Asset.
product than they were under the Barclays regime.
There you go. Now you see, that is the wrong mentality. You are equating our league to the Premier League. Look at your pitches. Everything is bazaar. Look, the minister was right. Look, for once,
You agree?
You agree with
I
the
agree with the
minister.
minister. Now, you see, football, if you want to develop football, it's not all about infrastructure. It's about fairness and what? Transparency. Me tie papa na ni mbo, nke ye padi ne for once. For the very first time, the minister has spoken. When did he realize that it has to be fair and transparent? Is this league a fair league? The league has never been fair under Keto.
No, he spoke about the integrity
Oh,
of
forget integrity. No be any ho man.
So my point is it's not as if I'm trying to do a damage.
And they're better than
Sergio Ramos.
There's a message
Ramos
for
do-
you here.
do
The
money
people in
and
Cape
tea.
Coast are saying
Okay.
that Koti should probably pass through, during the first period next week to sharpen his fantasy small. Because he's killing them. He's killing them with their fantasy.
I'm fan cham.
No, but coach did university in Cape Coast. So, it's not that bad.
Because the point I'm making is that is this league a fair?
No, you see, let's
He
hold on,
admits.
hold on. You see, let's establish something around the table. You and I can go back and forth, turn it around. This league is not a free and fair league. That's the truth.
That's
And
the fact.
Inter Allies and the Ash Gold matter proved it.
Yes.
We've had this RTU issues. We've had number 12.
So many.
Even
the just ended.
Look, we were watching the one of the league season.
But we not watching when.
Was it Brekum?
And you see,
Referee beji penalty.
It's Brekum.
Referee beji penalty. Ya catch and so beji
Exactly.
penalty. No, Musha Okoje. Bam, now penalty.
It came to fruition.
Exactly. And you see, these are some of the reasons why we have hooliganism in some of the
Still
especially in the Division 1 and Division 2 leagues, because a lot of these fans who perpetrate the hooliganism are very close to the club hierarchy.
Exactly.
They know the sort of decisions that go into a team wanting to get promotion from, let's say, the middle league to say the league. So some of these things, look, I also think that the FA, look, we can sit here. We are gates. We are, how would I put it? We are the fourth estate, as we would call it. Our job is to educate people, is to bring awareness. At the end of the day, we cannot do your work for you. If you invest your money into a product, and at the end of the day, you don't want to see returns, you don't want to see your product make leaps and bounds and become internationally viable, then it is up to you.
Look,
because at the current stage at where we are going, like I've always said here, look, you go to other countries and regular parks, right? Regular Sunday Stars parks and regular parks that your kids and girls will play at are better quality than our national pitch
than
parks.
our national pitches.
And that's unacceptable.
And as an FA, you see, my last point before maybe I leave this.
Yeah, just wrap it up for
Look,
me on that. We need to do better really
more.
with our league.
No more.
Yeah.
This league is not going to get better.
Oh,
I'm telling you. look, it's not going to get better.
Don't be a prophet of doom.
No, I'm being honest. Because until the football people, the so-called, they say football is meant for football people.
But could you apart?
No, I'm not.
Because you're a football person.
No, I'm a football person. The football is not meant for me. Football is meant for the entire country. You don't say football is meant for football people. When it comes to decision making, you go and make your own. Then you expect me to take my family, you take your family to go and watch somebody's product that you put money in his pocket. They should begin to diffuse that statement that if you are not a football person, you cannot have a say in football. Look, I have sat down, I've thought about this, I've gone into detail. Get to Kreku and your people, if you are listening, this is free advice. Stop saying football is for football people. Stop that statement. Stop it.
Especially if you want sponsors.
And make the thing very attractive.
Football is for everybody.
Football is for everybody.
It really is.
That is another reason why this league should go autonomy. So that
They didn't talk about that?
No. They won't talk. These are the things that you'll be talking about.
I thought that was the main thing.
Because it's a main thing. You see,
Yeah.
if you get rid of those people, you see, because when you say you are selecting players into the national teams, then you go and select under 70. You go and bring players to Medina.
He says they will develop that.
Absolute. Look,
It's okay.
I'm
It's
sorry
okay.
I didn't.
Just land on this
You
element.
go and bring players, your team players, ESCO members players, those people that are closer to you. You bring their players. Then you go and justify your selection into the national. Then you pick those players and you go and turn them into our national team players. Whilst those of us who are spending money every week, taking our course teams from one playing surface to the next playing surface, trying to give the ordinary Ghanaian footballer a life in football. You deprive all of us for such opportunity. You just go and pick your people, then they go and they bring their players. You understand what I'm saying? The teams, your team, the ESCO members and their team, they'll bring their players to Medina. Then they'll come and play justified. Then you bring your coaches. Like I pick in Kitia, I pick in Nathan, I pick in Gabi. Now I pick him. Now what they have to say, that is our national team. How can you do that? Are you the only people who deserve to benefit from football in this country? It's because they think football is for football people. And they are the football people. The rest of us, the Chelinsa.
They need to change their mindset if they want to revive the Ghana Premier League.
Your league is bad.
We want to see the league duel again. Let me read a few messages and then we'll talk about the Black Stars. Otoado has named his squad for that game against Angola. So proudly brought to us by Winner Big and Twisco. My name is Benjamin Iketia, Sports Panorama. You had Coach Christopher Nimley, Nathan Kwao is here, Gabi Ofe, Bernard Abekwatri, Yahweh Jamie will join us in a bit. We are going till 11 p.m. today. We have just about a couple of minutes. We are going to 8:30 with Sports Panorama. Let me read a few messages. KK from Tema says, hi, Ben and team. What's interesting about the Chiesa transfer is that Ben is now applauding the move simply because he's not joining Chelsea or United, really. If he were signing with either of those teams, Ben and Nathan will be criticizing the move, claiming Chiesa wouldn't adapt to the language. Charlie, the guy can read minds. Nathan, don't bother. The guy can read minds. It's fine. He's a mind reader, so it's fine.
I didn't know. KK from I didn't know you are now one of your.
He's a mind reader.
He's mind reading. I'm sure you want to add it to your CV. Monday you can tell your boss, I acquired a new skill on Friday, how to read minds.
Relax for him. This was Ebenezer from Nungwa Brigade. He said Arsenal's transfers are okay. God willing, Arsenal is beating Brighton tomorrow. Saka, Odegaard, and Trossard to do the job for us. Okay. Kobe Baden from Dan Soman says, I was shocked to hear some of our journalists asking for the inclusion of Andrea Ayew. Even Welbeck, who's playing actively for his club, is not playing national team football. And as for the new UCL... As for the new... Don't do that. I heard somebody say they should organize testimonial for the new coaches.
I was in a certain discussion the last time that there are about 12 clubs that Andre would have to decide from, and he's confused. 12. Yeah, 12.
Okay, so you see, no, but those are hold on, but those are two. But you see, those are two. You see, so hold on.
No, I'm telling you.
Don't do that.
From where I had this information.
See, Andre having options and Andre continuing with the national team are two different conversations. Thank you very much.
No, but when you play is when you get an opportunity into the national team.
It's okay. Let me continue with my messages. More messages coming in. Lambert from Dodowa says Liverpool will beat United 3-1. Okay, so Lambert from Dodowa will record your name and your prediction. 3-1 you say. Okay, so I have that down. This one here is coming to. It says, good evening, Ben. My prediction for the Sunday is Man United 1, Liverpool 2. Benjamin from Kaswa. You need to add your full name. There might be 5 Benjamins from Kaswa. What would I do with that? So please add your full name if you can. Or, all of you have unique names, but I'm sure when you are coming to take your jersey, you need an ID. So please add your name so I can ID you properly. No bedroom Pep Guardiola and bedroom Ginola and Cantona and things. You will stop those things. Anyway, this one here says Man United 3, Liverpool 2. Bellyman inside Tema. Okay, so Bellyman. Okay, if it's on your
That's your name, the name on your ID.
His name is Bellyman. We'll take his name now. Please send us your real name if you can. This one here says, good evening, Kwesi Clinton, aka Gobe 5 CD, Gary 1 CD.
How can this?
Number 5 CD.
You come
The
with
guy
your
does
ID
not even sell 1 CD.
He says, thank God it's Friday.
The beans said, I know it's so 5.
Again, my weekend is always not complete without hearing from you guys. I say a big shout out to my Lile Lady Elizabeth. I see. Must be nice. Charlie, Jay from Gulf City is an Arsenal fan. Says, as an Arsenal fan, I hate my club. Instead of us to sign Olise and Paulinho to boost our team and also get a striker, we sign an injured Merino and another defender. We are not serious. Arteta should be sacked if he doesn't win the league. Josh from Amman from says, tell coach to pray for Mbappe and Madrid. Investors are seriously bleeding. So right here says that my favorite sport is Citi Sports, and I'm eagerly anticipating the closure of the European transfer window.
Talking about
Yeah.
talking about investors. Shout outs to our very good friend and colleague Sicho Achwin. He gave me some revelation about 2 years ago. From that day, I stopped worrying my head. He said, "You remember the Manchester derby at Old Trafford? The controversial Rashford offside. Was it offside? Not offside. So I watched it on the dodgy stream that Saturday. So 3 days later, I watched the game again at home.
Yeah.
And then I tweeted that, I've just watched the game again. Was it a good goal? It was a good goal. That's what I tweeted. The insults in the comment section, again. Boys were insulting. You're a foolish man. This, that. And you call yourself a journalist. And I said, but what are people have said? Then Sicho DM'd me and said, bro, 2/3 of those reactions, it's not because they dislike Man United. No. They don't have anything against Man United. So boys frustrate.
No, serious.
So I understand if people say investors are
Charlie, that's what's going on. Let's move it on. Let's talk about the Black Stars. I'll come back to my message box in a bit.
But you didn't read this one.
We've taken a few names down. We've taken Lambert from Dodowa, and then we've taken Bellyman. Okay, this one says, hi Ben. Neto plus Felix is equal to Netflix. Nah, hold on. That's where I take my earphone. What? Hold on. You say what?
Neto plus Felix is equal to Netflix.
But you say, are you ready with your popcorns?
Oh, Charlie,
we are about to watch a movie this season.
In
Chelsea, there's cash. Okay.
There's cash and cash to buy your own player.
You should have added your name to that
the only
message.
team I know who buys a player and then they sell him to another player in their own net.
Incredible stuff going on. Let me read a few messages from YouTube. These days we've been abandoning the YouTube people. So this one quickly coming through. I see a few messages. Okay. Kwame Scapino says, Ben, tell coach not to be surprised. 3-1 United win. Please help me tell Potaki to consider me, I beg. Charlie, boys are passing messages through places.
Hey,
Potaki, I don't know who that is.
We should tell Potaki to consider you. Hey.
Julius Taki says, with the fit Fede and Jota, all the EPL teams should sleep watching live from Cove Town. Interesting. This one here from Samuel Amankwa says, how do you blow a whistle on an empty stomach? Coach Nimili won't kill person. Selassie Anku. Please take Selassie Anku's name down. He says Liverpool to win by 2-1. Selassie Anku. So please take his name down. So I'll get to that in a bit. Let's get to the Black Stars and let me get to that Otoado squad for that game on the 5th against Angola. Gabby, please announce the squad for us. Let's get through with the goalkeepers.
All right, so goalkeepers, there is Lawrence Atizigi, St. Gallen, Joseph Wolacott, Crawley Town, Frederick Asari, Asante Kotoko.
Crawley Town, division.
Crawley Town League, Premier League, Championship League. I think League 2.
Defenders. Ali Disieri, Stade Rennais.
Oh my goodness.
Tariq Lamptey, Brighton and Hove.
Okay.
Alexander Jiku, Fenerbahce. Abdul Momen, Rayo Vallecano. Mohamed Salisu, Monaco. Jerome Opoku, Istanbul, Başakşehir. Ebenezer Annan.
OFK Belgrade?
Yes. Kingsley Schindler, coach's favorite right back.
What's the name of that team? Samsung
Sport.
Crawley Town is League 1.
League 1.
Yes.
So after the championship.
Premier League.
Championship League 1. Third tier.
League 1.
Yeah, so
Third division.
Midfielders.
Like a more blaster. Third division.
Mo Kudus, West Ham United. Abu Francis, Brugge. Thomas Partey, Arsenal. Elisha Owusu, Iggeok, Majid Ashimeru, Anderlecht. Forwards, there is Fatah Isaku, Leicester City. Joseph Painsil, LA Galaxy. Ibrahim Osman, Feyenoord. Semenyo, Bournemouth. Inaki Williams, Athletic Bilbao. Brandon Thomas Asante, Coventry City. Jordan. Leicester City.
So Jordan, are you the veteran? Already has put his stamp on Leicester. He says that he is eager to shed the tag of lane clogging, backtracking, intercepting winger. He wants to shed that tag and just be a traditional Charlie. He wants to shed that tag of being a defensive striker and just be a traditional number 9. Hopefully that new phase of his career will be good. Let's get to some of the key points of the national team call-up. So we have 5 key absentees. So through injury, Enes Nyama is missing out through injury. We have Gideon Mensah missing out through injury as well. Kamaldeen Sulemana, Ibrahim Sulemana also out through injury. So that's what you have. Inaki Williams back in the squad after missing out on recent games. You know, Inaki was he also missing through an injury?
Yeah.
I think he was nursing
against Mali and
long. Yeah, he had a long niggling injury. He's back in the mix, rejuvenated. Kotoko Frederick Asari, only home-based player in the squad. Andrea Yu omitted again. Somebody was also asking Otoado at the presser whether Andre was coming back. I don't even want us to make a topic out of it here. Otoado says he liked what he saw with the youngsters in the last games that were played, and so as far as he's concerned, he's moving it forward.
Otoado Denche is not an honest man.
Charlie,
why should you answer the question like that? But my bet team, you should just say until he gets a team to play.
Maybe
where I can
maybe he doesn't intend to even bring him when he gets a team.
No, I bet team.
Fair.
No, he said we have to build a team for the future.
You were there, good.
Yes, that's the reason why.
So he's building a team for the
future.
Into my own say,
Andre is not part of the future.
Yeah, and I like the way Otoado handled it. You see, when you come out and you clearly say, "Oh, nah, he's not part of my team because he's old."
It's undiplomatic.
Because he doesn't have a team.
Yeah.
You see, he's a captain of the Black Stars.
Yeah, you can't do that.
He's a veteran of the Black Stars.
You can't do
that. That's why we keep suffering. How do you get into the Black Stars fundamentally if you don't have a team? You see, if I'm the coach, do you know what? Yes, he's given us quality services over the years.
Yeah.
He was playing actively. He warranted or he merited the position in the team. As we speak, he doesn't have a team. So let's put him aside and let's look forward. Simple. Answer in such a way.
Two bloods.
Now, when he gets a team, you now begin to assess. I still think that if he can play regularly and he can give us 20 minutes, like I've always been saying, he can still play.
Thank you.
But before that 20 minutes, as I cannot team, don't worry about team.
Points for
Even
me.
when he had a team and he was scoring goals with Le Havre and
Yeah.
he wasn't called.
He wasn't called up.
So it's clear that this man
Otoado wants to move on.
He wants to move on. He has a
Tell us.
But you see, it's not everything that you can say
no
in a very raw form.
Let's
format.
move it on. Yeah.
So I love the way Otoado handled that bit where his PR skills were on point, his man management skills were on point. Where he said we have to build a squad for the future in response to that question about omitting Dede Ayew. Then he moved on to Frederick Asari, Kumasi Asante Kotoko, where a journalist asked him, was he picked because he plays for Kotoko,
Yeah.
and that Kotoko fans are quote unquote loud, and so if you don't pick
That's a good
player
question.
from
They have the ability to agitate until you are forced to pick a player.
Yes, and if you are going to pick one player from the Ghana Premier League, it has to more or less be a Kotoko player. More or less. And he defended that decision that Frederick Asare is talented. He's a bright young lad, and the fact that he's building a very strong team culture. Frederick Asare, when he was with the team in the last call-up for the Mali Central African Republic qualifiers in the World Cup, his attitude in camp was on point. He was very supportive. He wasn't more or less quote unquote a distraction.
Another dishonest answer. He is not the best goalkeeper in the local league. Black Stars say Akafe Nakan.
You see,
When you are selecting players,
style.
no, that is why that is why to come back and it will hit us.
But
in
he's
the
the
face.
third goalkeeper.
Because you are third goalkeeper. You need depth. You need quality there.
I think our
He's not
goalkeeping
the best
department.
goalkeeper.
I think our whole
Dodo
goalkeeping
Walcott
department
is in
needs
the
a shake.
third division in English football.
For that,
Why
I
should
have
he
my
be in our
issues.
team? Why should he be? See, the same thing that we've done over the years for which
Are the same things
paid
we are doing
for,
now.
we are still doing the same thing.
Fair. Make a point.
Well, for Walcott, I have my issues with his call-up, but with Frederick Asare, I'm okay with it because, as I've stated before, Otuado wouldn't necessarily admit this, but I honestly believe you look at Benjamin Asare, you look at the other goalkeepers, Solomon Agbasi of Dreams FC, the Instratraman goalkeeper, and Samate's goalkeeper Che also came on form. Felix Che, they came on form at some point in time in the season. Instratraman's goalkeeper is also in the fray. They are doing well, but when I look at those guys, and I look at Otuado, it's clear that he is part of the modern wave of coaches who want to have their goalkeepers be comfortable.
Those guys, are they old?
No, I'm getting to my point.
Let him make his
The
point.
ability to be comfortable with the ball at your feet. When I look at those guys, he mentioned Benjamin Asare, formerly of Accra Hearts of Oak, and now with Accra, formerly of Great Olympics, and now with Accra Hearts of Oak, as one of the goalkeepers whose performance caught his eye in the past Ghana Premier League season. But he would go with Frederick Asare because of the qualities that he mentioned.
Yeah.
But in my estimation, it's just down to the fact that you look at first things first, Frederick Asare's age, and you compare that to Benjamin Asare's age. Benjamin Asare is 32. So if you are building one for the future, and that was a running theme throughout the presser, he building.
Let me help you. Let me just make this. If it's about quality, what quality has Jojo Walcott got? With his foot, he's the worst of the three. So what is he doing now? You see, you cannot massage the standard when it comes to this, but when it comes to the same thing, then you are saying off the beat.
You see, and that's the whole point, that it can't just be one reason or one rule running throughout. Quality has to be there, but like he said, the team culture also matters, because we've seen some quote unquote disruptive figures in the dressing room in the team for the Black Stars.
When was the last time you heard a local player goes to the Black Stars camp and was that disruptive?
No, I'm not saying with respect to a local player.
I'm
saying that
the selection or their bad, what he's brought here, the goalkeeping department, there are question marks there.
But
how old is the Dreams FC goalkeeper?
The Dreams FC goalkeeper, Solomon,
24.
He's better than the Kotoko goalkeeper. He should be in the team. It cannot be that because you play for Kotoko or Hearts of Oak, then you get into it, even if you are not the best goalkeeper in the country. When are we going to recognize the other teams? When are we going to recognize them?
I agree with that.
You don't do your national team like that.
Fair point.
I've said,
who is the England number one goalkeeper?
Pickford.
Which team does he play for?
Everton.
What have they been doing over the past 3 seasons?
Flirting with relegation.
But when it comes to his playing.
Point well made.
I've always said and maintained this, that you look at the background. The background plays a very key or it plays a major role in what influences selection. I look at Frederick Asare.
Yeah.
He's a former Accra Lions player. I cannot shake that feeling off that the connection between
the German connection.
The German connection between Ibrahim Tanko and Otuado.
That is
They
it.
come from the same
Consultancy players.
No, coach.
Let's not make that speculation.
That's not my choice.
Make your point.
They come from the same
Finish, I'll make
football school of thought, more or less. The Dortmund school of thought.
Yeah.
You get it. And Ibrahim Tanko guided these guys
Yep.
during their time at Accra Lions. He's moved over to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And clearly, there are some attributes that Otuado wants to see in a goalkeeper, his goalkeeper, that he sees in Frederick Asari. And that's what I honestly believe is the reason behind his call-up to the national team. Aside he being a very young, talented player, and the fact that he helps with the building of the team culture. And like I said, he fits into the running theme of the presser that I witnessed, which was, we are building for the future. We want to develop for the future. Frederick Asari fits that bill. And on top of that, he fits the school of thought and the attributes that Coach Otuado, I honestly believe, wants to see in a goalkeeper. And that's the reason why he's in. And just a quick one.
Yeah.
At the presser, there was a huge commotion that almost got out of hand. Because our colleague, Ohene Bampo Brenya, spotted an issue. And he raised it at the presser. And Henry Asantuchum, the communications officer of the GFA, stated that wasn't the occasion to address that issue.
What are we talking
Bampo
about?
Brenya's point was, it's a media presser. We are to engage the coach in his selection.
Him to explain why
Getting
this,
him
why
to
that.
explain the reasons why he selected some players. But you had a situation where virtually half of the presser area was
Taken over
occupied
by
by Ghana Supporters Union, and you had journalists sitting on the bare floor, squatting, kneeling, crawling all over the place because there weren't enough space.
And you know what those people come and do? President, why you need now?
Game changer. You get it. And he expressed that issue. And the supporters weren't happy. The supporters union weren't happy. And they weren't happy about it, but it had to be said. For the most part,
hold on. What were they not happy about?
The fact that he brought it up.
Was that function for supporters?
Exactly.
Was that function for supporters?
It wasn't for supporters.
Where in the world have we ever seen this?
Exactly.
Have you seen this anywhere in the world?
And that was Brenya's point, that you it's a media engagement.
Yeah.
Why do we have people around? Okay, if you have people around, no problem. Like we saw last week Sunday, a presidential candidate engaged the media.
Yep.
There were party supporters there, but they were camped in one section of the hall. Then you had journalists who were comfortably.
Yeah, to be honest, the GFA's press room or wherever that room is too small for journalists to accommodate supporters in this space. What are the supporters coming to do
My
there?
problem is, okay, if you want to have the supporters union there, have them there, but make sure that you provide ample room to accommodate as many journalists as possible.
Yeah, tell them. They shouldn't have any supporters.
They don't need to be there.
What do they add to the occasion?
Exactly.
What do they add? They don't add anything.
If they want to have it there, they should not be there. It's not for them.
I loved it because Brenya is part of SWAG, Sports Writers Association of Ghana. And I love the fact that he raised that point.
Yep.
That he wasn't coming from this angle of, I'm just a journalist, quote unquote.
Yep.
But it came from the mother body. He being a representative of the mother body of Sports Writers Association.
It doesn't matter whether Brenya is a member of SWAG or he's not. The function officially
is a
media engagement between the Black Stars head coach
and the
press. So he does not have to be a member of SWAG for whatever. I'm saying that once it is tagged a media encounter between the Black Stars head coach and journalists are supposed to have a
priority.
To sit
at the end of the
ask
day,
questions.
A Black Stars head coach media engagement, the president will speak. The president, why you need na? Be fair na. Agbe normal. I'm a Halifax.
Game changer.
That is, you see, I came here the last time and I complained about this thing. You don't do that at such event. If you want to organize your speech for them to come and jam up for you and play drum for you, let's do that. You understand? No more our bad list there.
And yes,
Yes,
Namankwa
finish and then come.
was one name that wasn't included in the list. That
Is he not injured?
Yeah, yes, that's the thing. So Coach Otuado gave the explanation that he's injured, but according to reports, the injury is not that major to, let's say, quote unquote,
leave him out of the squad.
I think he's on the bubble. Like, he's one of those guys that are on the quote unquote standby list, that they are watching him very closely, that if he can maintain his form, that he can get into the Black Stars. And I think if he can maintain his form, he can easily get into the Black Stars, because if you are playing in the Championship, Norwich, and you are doing well, it's very likely you make the move to the Premier League or a top tier league or elite league in Europe in no time. Especially when you have a situation where Salit Samet's future isn't necessarily sorted out, because if his move to Sunderland happens to get the green light and he doesn't perform well, I think he's one of those candidates who are on the chopping block, that if he doesn't step up his performance, there are other guys who are in his position. And there are a lot of players in his position that if he doesn't step up, he might just get kicked out of the team. And one of those guys is for Namankwa, who entered the team.
So just a quick contribution. I'm hearing, so Ohene Bampo Brenya, my good friend and brother, who took the FA on for letting supporters occupy 2/3 of that press room, has texted me. He says Solomon is injured, the Dreams FC goalkeeper, so he's actually out of an injury, and that's why he's not been called up. So that's but good. Again, I think that's a very important point. Let's not go to presses, and let's not have journalists have to haggle over seats with supporters. It is unthinkable. It is unacceptable. It is crass behavior.
Where in the world have you seen this happen before? Where in the world?
I can't believe we even have to discuss some of these things.
There's a media engagement, and journalists are sitting on the floor.
And then supporters are. It's okay.
Hold on. Journalists are sitting on the floor. Who did you organize the engagement for?
Kneeling.
Why?
I saw the footage. It was so messy.
Let's not
time,
do some.
Should this thing happen again, it will be best you guys boycott. Otuado should not even, or just put the list out there, and then we all live by it and move it.
Chris, we appreciate the fact that at least there's some thinking behind getting Otuado to meet journalists.
Yeah, because back in the day, it wasn't
so
even
that is
organized.
so 50% of the work is good, but the GFA, please next time get seats for journalists. The supporters, you see,
don't bring supporters.
They don't
there.
add anything to that function. They have their use. When there are games, let them go.
Yes, games.
It's a press engagement.
Now me Allah. Now come and support the team. I mean Allah. For Allah,
when Guy Southgate used to name his England squads, who was there?
Nobody.
Where in the world have you seen this? A national team coach is about to name a squad, and then supporters are there.
I'm not even sure. Just a quick one.
Let's not condone what is not nice and good.
It's unacceptable. So just a quick disclaimer. So some feedback we've got says that why is Abeku not in the studio now? Somebody is conspiring that he's not here because he was probably like trying to like make salient of the FA's.
No.
That's not the case. No. He was here. He covered the event, so he was here to brief us on the event, and that's why he's here. So that's just what it is.
Okay,
so just to put that out there, coach. Let's talk about that.
This team, man. If your goalkeeping department is very weak, there's no future for the team. And I think Otuado and his technical team have continually encouraged and ensured that this goalkeeping department is the way it is. Nobody can convince me sitting here that Jojo Wolocott should be a member of this team. Nobody. Look, unless you don't want to be truthful, unless you don't want to, what at all does Jojo Wolocott brings to this team?
Oh well.
He went to Scotland. By England. England, he didn't go to the championship. He's in the third tier of English football. Are you trying to tell me that in Swatrema, is that how they mentioned their name?
In Swatrema.
Their goalkeeper is better than Jojo Wolocott. I'm telling you honestly. I'm telling you.
What's his name?
I don't need to remember his name.
There's Felix Che to Mediama.
They are all better than Jojo Wolcott.
Why do you say so?
But technically they are good. When it comes to keeping the goalposts, they are better. Jojo, I am Shishie.
When was the last time you watched Wolcott?
I will have 4 last 2 weeks. I will have come in your edge.
No, but goalkeeper, goalkeeper,
I'm not talking. You see, as for Ati, look, as for Ati, everybody knows he's my boy. But the point I'm making is that Ati has shown. I don't think he's the best goalkeeper we have.
But he's the one-eyed man in the land of the blind.
That is it.
That is the truth.
That
I
is
agree.
the truth.
I agree.
I've said it here. When we're going to the AFCON, I said, don't put Richard Ofori inside. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Only let me bowl me to it. Ball in your over. Near Mwakwajan. Simple, no, but yeah.
I am man.
That
This is the lecture. On a real part. You know, if you write like Ghana football movement, but we need to add that one.
Which one is it? The
Only the 2-1. We were leading 2-1.
Nathan.
The ball is going over. You were there
Nathan,
live at the stadium that day in Cote d'Ivoire. Ball no cover. A couple of or dribble to a boy.
It was like a dream.
So the point I'm making is that I have never seen any proper national team, for that matter, any proper club side, achieve laurels without a strong goalkeeping department.
But the truth is, I think our goalkeeping pool is generally weak.
I was just about coming to that.
It is.
In the last few years,
No matter how weak it is, Jojo Wolcott doesn't strengthen it.
Fair. Let's make
The
progress.
Kotoko goalkeeper, in my view,
Doesn't strengthen
locally
it.
doesn't strengthen
Let's
it.
make progress.
There are better people here who will go and strengthen that department. Now, when you look at Padenachole Schindler, many for your team, maybe. Schindler, is that the name?
Kingsley. Yeah, Kingsley Schindler.
Take you.
No more. We've seen him.
Schindler.
No, modern.
Angola.
Modern. We are playing like the same Angola party is coming for him. You see, we've given them several. You see, the Black Stars. Charlie Makelson, John Pencil, John Pencil, man. Those days, John Pencil, Motu, Obawo. Sape Mekenibi. When they were playing number 2, fullback, you see that there's proper competition. John Pencil at the time knew that if he doesn't perform, there was a certain Samuel Inkum or Harrison Haffel who will come and will do a better
And we
job.
are falling off power.
We have fallen off. We sat in this studio. We said, don't bring the Dreams FC number 2. That boy that they sold to Portugal. Philemon Bafo. Don't do it. Don't do it. They used the Black Star. Sold the boy. Have you ever seen the boy being invited in the Black
Tell
Star?
why is Philemon Bafo on the radio?
Elaje Atalanale. They're looking for him. Nowhere to be found. Elaje Atalanale. Nowhere to be found.
Like he's missing.
That's the point I'm making. Where is he?
But he's playing football. He's
Hold on, let me find Philemon Bafo.
We were told he's the specialist right back for the
They're
future.
my missing in action.
Elaje Anale.
Let me find him real quick. I'm going to find Philemon Bafo.
Because, look,
now.
and then
Continue, make progress.
Yeah, I have as for the midfielders, I think, but for injuries, I think there should have been a little tweak in the midfield.
Philemon Bafo is a free agent now.
No, you bet him. Oh, you wa, otilo.
It's okay.
Well, you
It's okay.
bet him.
It's
No,
okay.
no,
The best of players become free agents. It's okay.
no,
It's
but
fine.
he's too young to be a free agent.
Fair.
From
fair.
what we were told,
He will soon get a club. They will secure
I
a club.
pray he gets one very soon because he's the future right back of the Black Stars.
Don't do this.
According to Keto Kreku and his thing.
Nobody-
They told us.
They didn't say that. They didn't say that. They included him in the team, but they didn't say he's the future right back.
Oh.
No, it's okay.
And Damilo.
Let's break progress.
Okay. Where are you?
Let's break progress.
Where are you?
Talk to
Now,
me. I'm listening to you talk.
You see, in the where we have Joseph Pencil and Co.
The forwards.
Yeah, the forwards. You see,
You don't have
said-
anything to say about Francis Abu, former Right to Dream product, played for Nordsjælland,
Look,
plays for Cercle Brugge these days.
I think he's a good player. But is it? I
was
want to
started
see
as one of their best prospects.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what happened to him. He just
No.
took a nosedive.
That boy,
election.
he's a good player. So that's why I want to see him. I just hope that Otto will give him the chance and let's
attacking midfielder
against Niger. Niger, they speak French.
Yep.
Against Niger, we've beaten them all the time.
Who actually played in the 2 friendlies? We played against Morocco.
He's a good player.
Against Nigeria and Uganda.
So hopefully he
played
gets
it in Morocco.
Yeah. So hopefully he gets a run out.
We want to see him in a competitive game.
Talk to me about the forwards.
I think I want where if you look at this team, we have only 2 natural wingers in the team. In Isayaku and Joseph Pence. Because if you look at
Thomas
Inaki
Asante,
Williams, Brenda Williams,
Thomas Asante, Brandon Thomas Asante, he's a striker.
Asante, and then Jordan Ayew now is a proper number 9.
Yep.
And then there's another person,
Ibrahim Osman.
That's what Ibrahim Osman. More ball juggling, number 10, getting on the ball, making things happen. I would have thought that they would have given Osman Bukari a shot.
I'm surprised he's not in this team. That guy is so productive when he plays for
Anytime
the
he
Black
plays
Stars.
for the Black Stars,
I'm surprised
he's always
not
been
in
one
here.
of our best players. Apart from that, I think everything looks very okay.
Checks out.
Then my biggest problem, can you imagine the unfortunate thing were to happen? It's football. So as a coach, if you are planning your team, you're always like, look, in my goalkeeping department, if there's no Lawrence Atizigi, who step in there to do a job, surely it cannot be Jojo Wolacott. Surely it cannot be the Kotoko goalkeeper. That is a huge void.
I don't think you have an issue putting Jojo Wolacott in there, because if you put Jojo Wolacott in a pressure-filled situation like the Ghana-Nigeria qualifier,
We've moved on from that Ghana-Nigeria.
That was a long time ago, though.
No, I'm just saying, because if he survived that, I mean,
And he's
why
had a
can't
couple.
you
He's
survive?
had a couple of major injuries too.
That day,
Don't you a lot after
now
that?
God save you. We
But
watched that ball.
that's why I say he survived that. If he survived that,
Unless you are telling me Jojo Wolacott is good enough to be in the Black Stars, in the major he's not good. He's one of the consultancy players. No, that is the fact.
Don't do this. Sports Panorama proudly brought to us by Winner Big and also Twisco. We'll be getting into Premier League talk in a bit. I'm still taking predictions for my jersey giveaway. Predict right. Send us your full name for Man United versus Liverpool, and we will give you a jersey. This one here says 2-2. Trust me, George Aqua from Kaswa. Okay, so please have George Aqua's name down from Kaswa. He says 2-2. That's how the game will end. George, you need to tell me whether you're a United fan or a Liverpool fan, so I know what to give you. Jackson Appiah says Liverpool to win by 4-1. So George Aqua and Jackson Appiah. So let's have those 2 names down as we move it on. Let's get into the fixture list for this weekend's English Premier League. Is match week 3 already. Okay, so early kickoff takes us to the Emirates. It's Arsenal Football Club taking on Brighton and Hove Albion. So we'll highlight the big games for the weekend. Let's start off with that one. Let me start off with you, Gabi. Quick thoughts on Arsenal hosting Brighton. They won their last very complex game. Difficult game.
They were lucky to win that game.
But they beat Manchester United.
I didn't say they didn't beat Manchester United.
Talk to me about this one. What are Brighton's chances in a game like this? Because these are very complex games for Arsenal, especially in the first couple of weeks.
I think it should be a very interesting game, especially looking at what Fabian Hessler wants to do. 2 games already, but you can see how he wants to. I mean, the team wants to play. You can see the blueprint. And for Arsenal, I mean, Arsenal started so well under Mikel Arteta. Just continuing from where they left off last season. I've always said that thing will come back to haunt them. If they don't get a proper striker, and they want to rely on Gabi Jesus, they want to rely on Kai Havertz, I don't think it's going to work for them, Ben, this season. If they really want to compete for the title, I think they need to get, the transfer window is not closed. They need to get a proper striker. And they're coming up against a team that is not scared to attack.
True.
You get it.
Brighton's identity is attacking football.
Yes, it's not scared to attack. So I think it's really going to be a very good game. I don't think that playing away from home will get to the players. I think that they'll come out all guns blazing and give Arsenal a very, very big task to do. So I'm looking forward to see a very, very good game.
Very good game. Yeah, thoughts on that game?
Yeah, Brighton.
Upset Anna. I like an early kickoff game.
Yeah, I think Brighton, they are set up to play in any style or in any situation that Arsenal might throw at them, any game plan Arsenal might throw at them. They can open it up and play all that sexy champagne football, go toe-to-toe with Arsenal in that department. They can close it up a little bit, which is something that I've spotted with Herzler as the difference between him and Roberto De Zerbi early on. So there's still a lot to look out for because the sample size is quite small based on what we've seen. But based on what we've seen, like I've said before, with Roberto De Zerbi, or under Roberto De Zerbi, when Brighton were good, they were absolutely good. They were pretty much the best team to watch in England or in the EPL, pretty much in the world, more or less. But when they were bad, they were really, really bad. And they'll be conceding 4-3-0, 5-0 and all that. But with Herzler, there's a little bit of stability in that department where it's no extremities. You are dealing with something a little bit closer to the middle. And that's where I see Brighton being able to hold their own against Arsenal, irrespective of what type of game Arsenal will throw at them. So I think it should be an exciting one. But with Arsenal in this kind of form early on in this season, yeah, I see a slight win for them, maybe like a 2-1 win for Arsenal. As to whether they will win the league, I've already made my prediction that I don't see them winning the league because aside the striker issue, it's down to the manager. And it's not because the manager is bad, but because the manager has not deviated from, quote-unquote, his master's style of play. All the great assistant coaches who went on to do better things than their former bosses, they did so with a different style, with a style that is different from what they learned from their masters. I'll give you an example. Jose Mourinho. He was an assistant coach under Sir Bobby Robson at Barcelona. He served as an assistant coach under Louis van Gaal at Barcelona. Those two guys, ball possession, total football, all attacking, possession, passing, all of that. When you look at Jose Mourinho, quite the opposite.
Yep.
He went on to win 2 Champions League titles with 2 different teams. All of those Premier League titles, FA Cups, and what have you. Van Gaal has a Champions League title to his credit, but he doesn't measure up to Jose Mourinho. I mean, our general manager's Liverpool, Bernard Avle's Liverpool. Paul Paisley served as assistant coach under Bill Shankly. Bill Shankly won league titles back in the day when it was called the First Division, now the Premier League. Bob Paisley served as an assistant coach or manager. Bill Shankly left the scene. Bob Paisley took over, and he changed how Liverpool used to play. Back in the day, traditional English centre backs hacking everything that they saw in their way. He came in and he said that, no, I spotted something that Red Star Belgrade did back in 1973 when we played against them. They had ball playing centre backs. So people back home, ball playing centre backs is not a new thing that evolved in 2 years or came in the past 2 years. It has been around since the 1970s. So let's educate ourselves on that. He decided, okay, I'm not going to have your traditional hackathon kind of defenders as my centre backs. So I'll have ball playing centre backs. They came in, and guess what? Under Bob Paisley, Liverpool won 3 Champions League titles. So they did things differently from their former bosses. Zidane won 3 Champions League titles in a row. He won as an assistant coach under Ancelotti, the Ledesma. Under Ancelotti, Ledesma, they won it. It was BBC, Bale, Ronaldo, Benzema. But under Zidane, when they won all those 3 titles.
So Ateta and Kwana woman examples be Bresano.
You get under Zidane, he won 3 straight Champions League titles, but he did it differently. He dropped Gary Bale to the bench. It was Bale and it was Benzema and Cristiano Ronaldo with Benzema acting more like a number 10 with Cristiano Ronaldo scoring majority of the goals. So there was a tweak to the system. But when I look at Arteta and I look at Pep Guardiola, what's the difference? He's doing everything that Pep Guardiola is doing. Lining up centre backs throughout the back line. Inverted full backs.
If Arteta
playing
wins,
out from the back.
If Arteta wins the league at the end of this season, all this speech will be for
yeah,
nothing.
but that's why I honestly believe he will. The league there you can win. There's always a possibility. After all, Leicester City won the Premier League title. There's always a possibility. But when I look at it critically, I doubt they will be able to win it.
Let me talk to Coach real quick about Liverpool.
But they will beat Brighton though.
Man United. That's the big game for the weekend. Like we said, do your predictions. We'll take as many entries as we can, and then we'll announce the first. Okay, so there's a bit of breaking news coming in. Arsenal have signed Bournemouth keeper Neto on loan, so that's just coming in. We'll get into Donkomi in just about 5 minutes
more
so we'll give you all the transfer.
That's basically a swap.
Yes,
because Ramsdale has signed for
on the other side.
He has moved to Southampton, and Neto has moved over to
Talk to
Arsenal.
me about Liverpool visiting United, the battle of the Papa Sakos. Slot versus Ten Hag.
There is the original, the Lord is my Baba. Between the two men. One is the newly born. The other one has always been the Lord is my Baba. Look, it is going to be a very good game, without a doubt. At least one thing that Slot has shown, that he's moved away gradually from that high octane sort of intensity football that Jurgen Klopp used to get his teams to play. But I think one thing that will come back to haunt Liverpool is that lack of the fact that he doesn't trust Endo. Endo.
Enzo is at Chelsea.
The fact that he doesn't trust Endo and that he's going to hand over that DM role to Gravenberg. I think that this is the game that will expose Gravenberg to the extent that the Liverpool team will realize that they should have gone in for a proper DM, or he has to go back to what Klopp did last season, restore the Japanese international back to that DM role, and get Liverpool to play with that till the month of January.
Chris, I'm curious. Why do you think Arne Slot is playing Gravenberg in that role?
It's simple. Endo is not a very good passer of the ball. One has a good passer. Those passes that will
30, 40 yard passes.
60 behind the back line. So therefore, he feels that Gravenberg can do a job there. He does that excellently. But he's not good when he's been pressed. And on in that game on Sunday, United clearly is not going to be playing with the false number 9 because Mason Mount, who needs to be there to all Scott McTominay, they are gone. So clearly his exit starts. And it is going to be Bruno Fernandes who plays in that number 10 role. And Bruno Fernandes will be the player most closer to Gravenberg. And we all know Bruno Fernandes. He knows how to press. He knows how to trigger. And therefore, the instruction from Ten Hag, I believe, will be very simple. Don't allow Gravenberg to turn. And Gravenberg to have shown that when you press him high up, he will like to take the risk because he tends to be very nimble-footed. But in that role, you don't need to do that. You need to be a player who can easily bypass the press but not hang on to the ball, but knowing where to release the ball to when the ball gets to you and the press is being triggered on you. One pass should take it away. So somebody like Casemiro, who has played in that role for so many years, he's not a skillful player. But before the ball gets to him, the decision is already made by him as to where the ball should go next. So I think that is where it is going to be exposed. And again, Liverpool over-reliance on Mohamed Salah. Thiago Dalot will be the one playing on the left. I think he will match Salah for pace. I think he will make sure that Salah will be forced to go onto his unfavorable foot. So it's a battle that personally I fancy Thiago Dalot to win. Now it will come down to Mazwari and Luis Diaz. It's a battle I really want to see. Mazwari have shown that he will match him for pace. And defensively, I will not put him in the same bracket as Wan-Bissaka. No. So I want to see how Liverpool...
How he copes with that.
And then it comes down to midfield. Liverpool, Jota plays as a number 9 now.
So you play Jota over Nunez. Nunez has not started
He
the
hasn't
game.
started. So I'm saying that Slot will
But
start.
tactically, what would you have preferred for a game like this, knowing the opponent?
I think I will play with Jota because he's
Liverpool's
more
most
clinical.
efficient finisher.
Clinical.
More efficient, more efficient. So he will start as a number 9 to come down to that midfield, the midfield of Casemiro, Menu, and Bruno as against McAllister,
Szoboszlai,
and then
Gravenberch.
Gravenberch. Look, truth be told, in McAllister, he's a very, very good player. He does his job. Look, I don't know, but the level of excellence that he brings on the job, at times when I watch Ansaka, this guy is very, very efficient and effective at what he does.
Yep.
So I have no problem.
When he
with
gets angry, he can step up and blast a 30-yarder.
that is it. Szoboszlai
Yep.
is looking very fit, very slim. But in my view, I still think that he still have some convincing to do.
He does.
And for the fact that it is Gravenberch in that role. Now, when you come to the side of Manchester United, we all know that Casemiro, his legs seems to be gone after 70 minutes, but he's a specialist in that position. So you want to give him the benefit. Then when you come to Kobe Mainoo, he has shown that on the ball, he has no fear. Liverpool not having a natural ball winner in that midfield is going to allow Kobe Mainoo to express himself. And once he gets the ball out to Bruno, and Manchester United with their pacey players, and Bruno is able to take care of that ball judiciously and find the pass, then things are going to be very interesting. Look, if in my view, if United had lost, had won against Brighton, I would be very much afraid that Liverpool win the game on Sunday. For the fact that United lost against Brighton, for them to lose and make it 3 out of 9, unacceptable. And the fact that it is their biggest enemy or their worst enemy,
Biggest game of the season for them.
biggest game of the season for the two teams, and it is at Old Trafford. They will be so pumped that I don't see how Liverpool win this. But look, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
In terms of what the two teams are building, Liverpool looks a steady team. And Mr. Slot has just gone in there. He slotted himself into the frame because Jurgen Klopp
Mr. Slot has slotted himself into the frame. Charlie.
And Jurgen Klopp has given him a good team to work
Oh
with.
yeah, the team is.
So that's
Eric Ten Hag cannot start Harry Maguire in this game. It has to
Maguire!
be Delete and Martinez. Because there may be times in the game where United will have to come out and press high up the pitch. Because in Dallo, in Mazwari, in Delete and Martinez, I think and then allow Onana to play that sweeper role. If the ball is hit behind, I think they can cover. There will be moments they will sit back and invite Liverpool onto them, and they also. So we are going to see a blend or a combination of several tactics on the day. But I believe that for the fact that United is playing at home, don't get me wrong, they've lost home matches to Liverpool.
Yeah.
For the fact that it is still too early in the season, it cannot be 3 out of 9. I think it will be 6 out of 9.
Let me read a
So,
few messages and then we'll take
United
a
to
break. Let's get to the top of the pile. Yes, let me get to the complete bottom of this. So Elvis Awude from Kaswa says Liverpool 2, United 0.
So United 0, Liverpool 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get that on record. This one here says, good evening, Ben and team. Man United 0, Liverpool 2 again. That's from Patrick Bonney from Achimota. And then this one's from Charles Kwashi from West Hill. Says, my prediction for Sunday, Man United 2, Liverpool 2. So all those messages coming in. Let me get to the other side of the message box. I'll get there in a bit. Let's take a quick break here on Sports Panorama. When we come back, we'll get into full transfer business. My bell is ready. The guys are ready. We'll get into it in a bit. Stay with us.
Guess what? Now you can win cash every day. Cash just the flow, sir. Winnabig is your cash companion, your bestie, always ready to sprinkle a little extra joy into your life. Head to winnabig.com, winabig.com, or dial *920*66#. Grab your ticket for just 5 Ghana cedis, and voila! You could just be winning you some cash. 1 ticket, 2 chances. Download the Winnabig app on both Android and iOS smartphones. Follow us on our social media pages for more. Winnabig, cash the flow. Winnabig is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform.
A Donda also is Don't Call Me Time. One place, mace for sale, 120 cheap. Don't come yo, don't come me. We dey loan this player $1,000. Don't come yo, don't come me. For this striker we can consider. Don't come yo, don't come me. No they see you use. Team na boka. Don't come yo.
So goals are Sansa Torres. Now one time she goes a prince of goals. Now on one yard drinks at Tevez. And then your coach one come back home. A don that was so.
Don't come yo, don't come me.
Let's go. It's don't come me time.
Don't come yo, don't come me.
It's don't come me time.
Don't come yo, don't come me.
Catch that.
Team na boka. Don't come yo, don't come me.
Catch that. It's don't come me time.
Me that's it.
Don that was so. It's don't come me time.
One place, mace for sale, 120 cheap. Don't come yo, don't come me. We dey loan this player $1,000. Don't come yo, don't come me. For this striker we can consider. Don't come yo, don't come me. No they see you use. Team na boka. Don't come yo.
So goals are Sansa Torres. Now one time she goes a prince of goals. Now on one yard drinks at Tevez. And then your coach one come back home. A don that was so.
Don't come yo, don't come me.
Let's go. It's don't come me time.
Don't come yo, don't come me.
It's don't come me time.
Don't come yo, don't come me.
Catch that.
Team na boka. Don't come yo, don't come me.
Catch Torres. Now one time she. Now one yard drinks at Tevez.
So it's official. Donkomi is officially underway, and big transfers happening everywhere. To be honest, everywhere. As far as the transfer portal is concerned, I want to tell you about an interesting transfer that involves a Ghanaian. He is heading to Barcelona as the first ever Ghanaian player to head to Barcelona directly. So he's going to the La Masia Academy. That's what's going on. He is heading to the La Masia Academy. Who am I talking about? I'm sure a lot of you are asking yourselves, but you are going on and on. You are not even telling us who specifically you are going on about. But like I said, the Ghanaian guy is heading to Barcelona. Plays for Accra Lions. He's 18 years old. 18 years old. Hold on a bit there. Let me get you my information sheet, and then we will get into it. So, David Odro is the name, right? Gabi?
Yeah, David Odro, yeah.
David Odro, Accra Lions,
Yeah,
18
I've
years
also done
old.
a few checks.
Yes, so just some background on him. Played his Colts or played for a Division 2 side here.
Yeah. So Desidero.
Yep.
Fadama, that's where they play.
Coach, you know that team well?
Yeah, very well. They've been there for
quite a while.
over 25 years.
Oh, wow.
So they play their football, the Fadama Astrotef. Sheikh Shaributu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually he was part of he played in the U17.
Yep.
The KGL Foundation stuff the GFA organized. So that is where people began to pay attention to him. And Accra Lions took hold of him, stayed there for 2 seasons, played a large chunk of the games. I mean, they just ended one. He played 13. Very good left back. He's very disciplined.
Attack-minded.
But the people I spoke to, I mean, the people close to him tell me that he's a very, very good chap. And earlier this year, January, he went to Barca and Chelsea to hold trials over there. And I think the Barca fraternity are happy with.
Actually, he went to Leverkusen as well.
Okay, are happy with what they saw with him. So it's a big move. It's a big, like you said in your intro, moving directly from a Ghanaian club to a Spanish team. It says big. But quickly, you know, he was part of the team under Pakwesi Fabian that played the Starlets. Qualified. They failed to qualify for the U17 AFCON because of some MRI stuff that went wrong. And I mean that didn't shake him off. It didn't shake him off, and that's when Accra Lions took hold of him. I'm very excited that at this time at Accra Lions, he wasn't getting too many chances because at the time he was competing with another good left back in that team. But the season that just got ended before the new season he played a very large chunk of games for Accra Lions. Yeah, so it's a big move.
Now talk about a little background for him. So some Danish clubs were looking at him. In fact, a Danish team came all the way here and spent like a week
to watch him.
Watching him. They actually offered Accra Lions money to take him away. And Accra Lions apparently were fielding quite a number of offers for him. So this guy is hot. So he was being looked at by Al Ali in Saudi Arabia. And according to my checks, Al Ahly offered as much as 8 million euros.
Hey,
Yeah, for the young chap. 8 million euros. So Al Ahly from Saudi Arabia, Galatasaray and Fenerbahce from Turkey.
Yeah.
Fena.
And then the Danish team that I'm talking about. But according to the background, again, there is a link. Let me tell you what the link is. Lothar Matthäus of Accra Lions and Hansi Flick of Barcelona. So good friendship from back in the day. They've spoken about the young chap. They think that he is one for the future. And truth is, there's no clarity on whether he will even break into the main Barca team. But what we know is that Accra Lions as a team doing the transfer stand to get a good chunk of an onward transfer fee. So there's a very healthy onward transfer fee inserted into his clause there. And you should expect that it could be that in 6 months to a year, maybe a little over that or under that, he could move to another team for more money. So David is primed for big things. We are happy for him. It's a move I don't commit because it's a no pressure move.
That is huge.
Nobody is don't commit you to the main Barca team. It's to the academy or to the team B where you can learn, you can get to grow, and hopefully you can make a big jump to another team. So David Odro, Accra Lions, don't commit the move. Gabi, talk to us about more Ghanaian transfers. Which other interesting transfers here?
So today we had Kasim New Adams.
Okay.
Signing for Servette.
Hey, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Hey.
Kasim New Adams signing for Servette. You know, Servette played Chelsea yesterday. In the conference league playoffs.
Describe Servette in a way I didn't like today at all.
So they beat Chelsea too.
You say you can't pronounce the team's name.
It's a 1-year contract with an option to extend for another season. But you know, Servette are taking him because he's he's got a well-established reputation in the Swiss league. So
played for young boys, won the title with them.
FC Basel.
Played for FC Basel as well. So he's played for the biggest teams in Switzerland.
Exactly. So between 2016 and 2018, that's what he played for young boys, and they feel, given his experience with the two teams, they can go on and do big things. So that's one player who made a move today.
Nathan, talk to me about Kasim Nuhu Adams. I feel like he has underwhelmed a little. He was primed for big things. Very, very strong in the air. Was pretty comfortable. Looked like some guy who
built.
Like 6'4" actually.
You know,
pretty tall guy.
The last time when he was at Hoffenheim, this was I think sometime last season. You know, our very good friend Fenty Tahiru, he was in Germany, I think, for a visit, and in that press conference he asked about Kasim Nuhu, and I think basically the coach said, well, Kasim Nuhu really did not, he wasn't giving him what he wanted. He really wasn't delivering as much, so that was why he wasn't getting minutes. It was quite worrying hearing that. I just hope that this move, I mean, he's 29 now. I hope this move works out for him. So the next few years you'll have some stability. You know, he's playing in a league he knows, like we've said. He knows the league already. He brings a lot of experience, but he will have to earn those minutes, right? Servette know his value. They know that this is a player who has experience in the league. They know he's got quality, but he has to show, because clearly at Hoffenheim he wasn't showing that much quality, and that's why he wasn't getting a lot of minutes and a lot of opportunities. I hope he gets the chance to excel. He has to apply himself, and if all works well, we should see him, do very well in the Swiss league. I don't know whether, if after a few years, assuming he does really well, if he would want to attempt something that's of a higher profile than Switzerland. I do not know, but for now, he has to.
So go to Saudi Arabia.
I think he's pretty much settled.
Look,
but just a quick one on the Desideros club.
Yeah.
They've also transferred another talented winger, Kwame Sosu
to Real
Betis.
Yep.
Real Betis scouts were in Ghana earlier this year, and they spotted him, and he caught their eye, and they've given him the chance to play for the team, on trials and be with the academy. And so, that's another move that has.
It's a 4-year deal, actually.
It's a 4-year deal,
in a region of around 35k euros. He'll be with the under 19. And then
he's 18 years.
Yes, he'll be later integrated into their main team. A winger who can play as a number 8, like you mentioned.
So that's another good move for Desideros.
Okay.
Also was part of Samuel Boydu's under 20 team, actually. So
so on the Kasim Nuhu.
Look,
if there's any Ghanaian defender who's really disappointed me.
I thought he was going to be our long-term, like, lockdown centre back.
the one who fills that John Mensah void.
Yeah.
You see, as a country, we've never replaced John Mensah.
Nope.
We've never.
Nope.
So when I saw Kasim, look at his physique. I remember that game, Black Stars versus South Africa in Cape Coast.
The one who came on and scored.
Yeah, because he was patronizing Joseph Edu that day. And if you look at, I don't remember the last time we had a ball playing centre back like that.
And he was very dominant in the air as well.
Very dominant because he's big. He's got the stature
Yep.
to bully. And when he goes up, he wins. On the ground, he's absolutely brilliant. So for me, I just didn't know what happened. That his footballing career just went on the dip like that. There were times where in that German Bundesliga, he was very, very dominant. He was spoken
in his
about a lot.
First two, three
seasons.
Yep.
I just didn't know what went wrong. And then recently, was it which Black Star coach invited him back recently?
I think it was Chris Hughton.
Chris Hughton.
Yep.
I remember I watched him. There was a game in Kumasi. I don't remember which game it was when we had the one that Daniel Amate from nowhere just held his hamstring. It's in Krodo because he couldn't run. You remember that game?
I do.
So he came up. But that day when I looked at him, I said, come on, he looked too comfortable for me. And he looked completely out of shape. I am happy that he's been given such an opportunity to go and resurrect. Because look, this career shouldn't have gone the way it's gone. At all. If you look at the talent.
Kasim should have been prime for like a big Premier League team by now.
Chelsea defender attached with the
Badiashile.
He's far better than those people. And for him to have gone the way he's gone, it's a bit shocking. I hope and pray
that he can find his
he
way.
sees this as the last opportunity. He should challenge himself and get his true talent out there. At least they've shown that they can beat Chelsea. So if he gets the opportunity, Chelsea team may be.
But they didn't qualify.
Let's talk about.
They beat Chelsea yesterday 2-1.
Yeah, but they didn't qualify.
They beat Chelsea. It's not about qualification.
Let's talk about a deal that could happen with an exciting Ghanaian player, Ernest Nuama, to either Fulham or Everton. So we hear that both clubs are in a tussle in the background trying to get a move over the line, and Olympique Lyonnais are actually inclined to sell. If they get a credible offer, they are going to sell. Let me start with you, Nathan, on this one. Nuama to Fulham, Nuama to Everton. If you are Ernest Nuama's people, which would you prefer?
Fulham. They've lost Willian, so I think that there's a space that's opened up for a winger.
Yes, exactly. And they've not bought.
And they haven't bought anybody.
And they could overread.
But they could overread is gone. You cannot really trust Adama Traore.
Yeah.
Right? So
Maybe oil man.
so you'd want to have
runs until he runs out of space.
You know, so I think they're still looking at an extra winger, somebody who can come in and give them something. And when you look at Nuama, he's got a high ceiling. His profile is good. I won't say he excelled in France, no, but the potential was there.
The glimpses were there.
The glimpses were there. If you read the French papers, you listen to French football pundits, all across the board, the understanding was that Nuama had the workings of a player and that if he got the opportunity. The problem is that Lyon is a very horrible place these days. Things are just not working well. I think they've lost this evening. There is a problem with the team. Lyon need to reset. Financially, they are also trying to put their house in order. So that's why they look at all they have and they say that, okay, Nuama looks like a very sellable asset.
Yeah.
So they're trying to move him on. So let's just see. But I if I were his people, I'd push him more towards Fulham. They look more settled. Everton this season will be very complex for Everton. Because even though next season they are moving into their new stadium, it could be in the Championship. And Everton as a club need money.
Yeah.
They are in a place where they're trying to get some new owners, the 777 people. It didn't really work.
They're looking for new investors to come
that
in.
kind of thing. So Everton, it's not a right place to be psychologically higher up. Sean Dyche might do his best to stabilize the dressing room, but it's a pressure situation. And I don't think Nuama needs a place like that. So I would prefer that he goes to Fulham. But let's see what the two clubs will offer to Lyon. For Lyon, they will listen to the offer that makes the most financial sense to them. And they will.
Now, don't forget that Lyon picked up Ernest Nuama. They were supposed to have signed him last season, but they had some complications with that transfer. He was
had to turn it
so
into
he
a loan.
good. So they sent him on loan to a Belgian team called Molenbeek, and then they made the transfer permanent this season. So he's barely been with them permanently at all, and already they are trying to move him on. And the details I'm getting here also say that they are looking basically to loan him out first, so they see how it goes. Maybe if he strikes like iron, or he strikes like a hot streak, then maybe the value goes up. Then they can probably sell him for good money. But as things stand, looks like nothing has really changed. I will try and see if I can get some details.
I feel a little sad for Niama, because in the last 2 years he's had to make these moves from North Island to Lyon through this loan.
These things doesn't help the progress of the player.
Yeah, these things don't
He's still
help
a young player.
He
Still
needs a
undergoing
stable
development.
environment.
He needs a very stable environment. And for me, I really don't get it. Than to clearly back what Nathan have said, that the place called Lyon is in sixes and sevens. There's no harmony there. There's no peace there. So he has to fight with owners. Everything bisi basa. So I think, look, his owners or his managers, those people who are in charge of the young boy, look, do everything practically possible. Sit down, get them. If it is a loan deal, I really don't mind where he goes. Everton or
Fulham.
Or if it's a loan there, he can go to Everton.
Yeah.
If that is a very viable place for him to let him go, let him be given the chance. And I look at that Everton team. I think when he goes there, he will also play regularly there, showcase his true talent. Remind everybody of how good he is as a player, and then let's see what happens to him either in January.
But in the Everton squad, for example, if
he's left-footed, so Dwight McNeil.
Neil
Mope has also moved to Marseille.
McNeil,
but you see,
he's a lazy player. He doesn't run. He always.
I get you, and I think McNeil he's flexible, because over time he started on the left, and then they moved him to the right. I also think he can play through the middle.
And Niama too can also play right, can play left, So I think if it was to be like
a loan, then you go to Everton.
Then I'll say Fulham. But if it's a loan, I don't care where he goes.
As long as you get to play consistent minutes,
that is all.
Yeah, that's
he will showcase his true talent, and then he will.
So Enes Nyama is a very interesting one we should be keeping an eye out for. We'll see. Somebody's talking about Daniel Opari here. Is this where is Daniel Opari? That's a very.
The last time
He was in
Belgium.
Yeah,
and his team got relegated.
Is he still playing football?
Yeah, that's the last time I heard of
all those
Opari.
the 2009 people.
2007, they're under 17.
I'm talking about the under
He's 33 now.
33, yeah.
Oh no more.
So, what team is it?
So Daniel Opari
Serang.
in the mix. Yeah, RSB Serang. Or I think I know that.
That's the last team he played for.
So he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what's going on.
Of 30.
So there's another transfer here, Emmanuel Siam. That's an extension. FC Basel.
Man, let's not forget about Salih Samed too.
Good. That's a good one to look.
Sunderland, yeah.
So it's supposed to be a loan deal.
A loan deal,
Is it still in the works?
Yeah, so
Not
according
done
to
yet.
Sources Le Parisien and Foot Mercato. Yeah, so loan.
Is it completed?
It's not completed. It's still working.
Deal still in the works. So basically,
Salis' case is interesting. 2 years ago, or 2.5 to 3 years ago, he was hot on the rise.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he hits a brick wall, attitude problems, things don't work well. And Lance are very, very quick.
I like the fact that you brought attitude problems in.
Lance are,
bad
just moving. But think about it. This was a player 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago. We're all very happy to have a player
in
like
fact,
that.
statistically, he was part of the top 10 highest ball winners in Europe that season. Statistically, he was in that numbers don't lie category.
Went to a World Cup and everything. 2 years
nominated for the
Ligue 1 midfielder of the year.
Yeah. African footballer of the year. And you know that Ligue 1 has a lot of talented African players. So if you are nominated for that award, then it means you really did something good.
He's lost it.
Also, there's a little upheaval at Lens, actually. So I think they are selling off a lot of their players. They sold Openda the season before. They sold another guy to Lyon.
A bit
recently.
of context. This is a bit of context. Now, the Ligue 1 or Ligue 1 is facing a bit of an issue, and lots of the smaller clubs are feeling it. This is it. Not a lot of people bought the Ligue 1 TV rights. So, for example, Liga is not in England. So people in England, they can't watch French football officially. Because of that, they've had problems. You know, TV rights will bring in a lot of money. Now, England is a great, viable market.
Yep.
Once the TV rights can't be sold, it means that there's no money coming in. By extension, some of the smaller clubs will not have money. So if you study the French transfer window, for example, teams are eager to sell off players. So you go to Lille, they've been thinking about selling off, what's the name of the guy? Jonathan David. And players who 2 years ago, the clubs would have kept and charged you a premium. Now they want to sell off the
Bordeaux
players.
is now bankrupt.
You know, so there's a financial problem hitting a lot of the clubs because of this lack of TV rights money and all of those things.
Bordeaux.
Just a quick one on Salis. You see, the fact, I don't know, but he's not grown
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not taking that step.
at all. And for me, like Nathan
I
rightly
think his
said,
place in the
remember
national
very
team
well
is even under threat.
when we saw him at the World
He's
Cup,
lost it, Ben.
we were a bit pleased with
lost it,
whatever he did at the World Cup. But since then,
Because if Ibrahim
I've
was-
always maintained that
Suleiman is at
he
Atalanta.
cannot be that that midfield partner to Thomas Partey. If you are going to Sunderland, then you make division mayor.
They're in the
Championship.
Okay, to some
bad.
It's a
extent,
loan
and
move.
you're bad,
It's a
sir.
loan move.
Bad, sir.
But for if you look at his where he was or his hype at the time, and for him to be going to the championship, I think it's a downgrade. But you see, such things do happen. It's about how mentally strong you are as a player.
It's a reality
If there are
check.
things that he's doing that he's not doing, attitude problem. You see, you must be ready to take instructions and improve your game. That is what people are looking out for. The coaches out there, that's what they are looking out for.
True.
What are you bringing on board differently
Yep.
to make their team better or to make my team better? If it's about offering me what I have already got, then it's better I don't get closer to you. But as a, you see, I don't know, but most of the problem with some of our players, that you see, and I've seen that to be very Ghanaian
African.
with our
Sub-Saharan-
African players. Look,
Sub-Saharan African
I
players.
don't see why a player in Ghana would describe himself as a DM or as a box-to-box midfielder and not go and look at the clips of Michael Essien and get a coach sit with him to explain. This is, if you say this is your role,
Yep.
this is the way it is done.
Because
Don't go and look at
that,
somebody
in that
and
same
the-
French league, and Salis doesn't. Michael Essien was king.
And you see, Essien recommended Salis. I am told from a very reliable source that Michael Essien did recommend Salis to the. You see, he came in very late in the World Cup from nowhere. He didn't play,
Yeah.
bumped into the team. So, if somebody of that caliber is recommended you that look, you can do a job in the position that he once played in and excelled in, you should go and be learning some clips. Our players, they don't do that. They're on social media. Basa.
Laughing gas, can he be?
Yes.
That's what Bissouma did, and they Tottenham suspended him for the first game.
No, you have to. You see, you
want
should
to
be
be
asking
laughing
yourself,
gas.
what can I do to improve? Because you are not the only DM in the world. True. There are so many players in your position. What makes you different from them?
Yeah.
That is what makes you unique. And for me, I look at Salis and I've told myself that, look, even watching Thomas Partey, when he plays with Thomas Partey, you look at the two men, you see a vast difference.
Yep.
I'm not saying they should be of the same quality, but at least there are some
should be
basic
picking up certain
rudiments
things,
that you are expected to be doing when you are in that role. We don't see that from him. He picks the ball 5 yards, 10 yards. Maximum he goes is 20 yards. You don't play. Go and look at Andre Pirlo. Go and look at Sergi Busquets. Go and look at players in that role, how they played it. If I'm closer to him, the move to Sunderland, these are the sort of things I'll be telling him. After training, just come and sit back. Get those clips put together for yourself and technically rewatch them. And you don't only watch, but you go and put them into practice.
It's true.
See whether you can make them part and parcel of you. Let the people at Lille, that is that the name?
Lens.
See you differently. If they're not going to bring you
the
back,
Lens.
you get yourself a better move and then add to your value.
Especially when Sekou Fofana left RC Lens for Saudi.
Yes.
There was a
He
big
was
hole there.
supposed to
Step
There-
up.
He
there
was
was a big
supposed to
hole
be
there.
the guy to step into that role, and he didn't. And at this point in time, while still the head coach, he pushed him to the reserve team. And
Yeah.
so, should this move materialize, yeah, it will be a very good one.
Let's
for
go.
him.
Breaking news coming in. Breaking
Yeah,
news coming in.
Sancho.
So Jadon Sancho's loan deal to Chelsea is done. Obligation to buy
Yes.
clause agreed between
Monday.
the two clubs. Sancho already said he wanted to move to Chelsea. Now the deal has been done. Coach,
Yes.
in fact, let me stay with you on this because Jadon Sancho is your son.
Yes.
He's his nephew.
From the days of Ibakpa Sashi, Ibakpa Doemi.
Edwin, Chelsea fans, are you happy?
It never materialized.
Yes.
And I'm one of the people who still insist that there's
a
still
player
a
in there.
player in there.
But
There's a
attitude-
player in there,
attitude.
but maybe not for the Premiership.
Yeah.
And
Yeah?
he needs to cheer
How so?
Ben, it's
I said
maybe Jadon Sancho is not made for
for the
the
Premiership. Look, I've talked to, because look,
Explain that to me.
forget about the problem he had with Ten Hag, and for
Okay.
him, he caused our own problem. But even under the manager that bought him, we could count the number of good games he played.
Yes.
Social bought him. We could count the number of good games he played.
That Liverpool game, he scored that
You understand?
wonderful goal.
Eric Ten Hag comes, he starts with him, gave him a week, he started playing. All of a sudden,
Mental stress.
Ake Yeseke.
Dabi Akake.
Really
Say
see that.
mental
Really
stress.
see that.
Mental stress. Okay.
Mentally stressed.
Mentally
Mental
stressed. What Gambian mental stress? No, I just
Dabi.
Okay, yo.
Dabi,
Dabi.
Ọ̀páchẹ́ dẹ̀ ní tí máa ń kú
I mean,
sùn.
Pache there. Incredible
See
mental
what you have
stress.
to do.
Náà ní tí
Okay,
máa ń
you
kú
let's
sùn.
proceed.
Òun á
No,
dẹ̀ ní tí.
Akaseke, yo. No, then the manager supports him.
He did
Takes
say
him to what? To Holland.
yes, for 4 months.
Yeah,
Yeah. He says go and rehab yourself and come
And
back.
United paid him for 4 months for no work done. £300,000, £300,000, 300,000. Now, this same manager who supported you brings you back. You complete the season. You start a new season. And the manager says,
Hold on. We got breaking news coming to. This is why I like Don't Call Me. So, NS Nyama is heading to Fulham.
That's
Agreed deal to sign on a permanent move. Actually.
there you go.
NS Nyama to Fulham permanently. Verbal agreements done. Paperwork to be completed in the next couple of hours. So we have
They need to
Nice
finish.
move.
we have our first official signed off Don't Call Me of deadline day.
There you
And
go.
NS Nyama is heading to Fulham
That's
Football
brilliant.
Club. Wow.
That's
Wow,
brilliant.
that's a big one.
That is brilliant.
I'm sure the details.
I hope he takes the opportunity.
Yeah. So maybe just before we come back,
Yeah,
to
just-
let me
yeah.
conclude on Sancho.
Yeah, just
So,
finish up with that for me.
Sancho, look, bad attitude. Everything about him is bad.
And ahead of
Nobody
that game
down.
at Arsenal,
Yeah.
the manager says you didn't.
The manager said your training is
Don't
not,
apply yourself.
and you are always late. Everybody, but Matic came back. That's why I like this spirit. Matic
Yeah.
came back. That whatever Ten Hag said is the obvious truth. But Sancho has paid more fines. He and Paul Pogba, they paid more fines for being late at training. So that is
The
the fact.
Balotelli effect.
You understand? Now, I am happy United stood their ground. Because Chelsea wanted to play some tricks.
Yep.
Oh, take Raheem Sterling so that you give us Jadon Sancho. Sancho is 24. Sterling, 29 years. Difference of 5 years. You don't take and give. There must be a
What do you
given.
do?
Then Chelsea went back and came that look, we'll take a loan, give it to us on loan, then a option to pay or to buy. The United said no option to pay. You add that if we know you maybe you don't want to pay the money now,
Yep.
but you take him on loan and then obligation to buy for £40 million. That is the deal. And it's just before that confirmation came, then the news before that was that United is saying that he will only leave on their terms, which means, like Eric Ten Hag said this afternoon, if he stays, he'll work with him. Because there are lots of football games to be played. You understand? So for me, I'm happy he's one of the distractions in that dressing room.
And that's why he needed to leave.
And he needed to
He
leave.
was just bad vibes.
So who is the next guy?
The next guy,
Because
Mani
McTominay is gone.
Wanamaten,
McTominay is gone.
Ebuwe,
Rashford.
Ledenje Ebuwe, Ebaya.
You see, some reports are alleging that the people at United
Yeah, looking at him.
are kind of hinting at him that it's last chance.
Yes, if he doesn't put up a good attitude and
That's for this
put up
season.
proper performances on the pitch, because again, another player that this coach has supported, because he's a true United guy from the academy at age 8 years. He's gone through the round. You want to get him to succeed. Everybody wants him to succeed. But at the end of the day, you need to succeed on the pitch. And you have to find a way of playing. People are saying that the coach should bench you. I think the coach should bench him for Garnacho on Sunday. You understand? So, I'm happy. Look, I don't commit the move to Chelsea. KMI Kusomoko, AMI Doko, AMI Pasamoko, Ea Doimi, Ea Kudro, Ea Pasati,
Jadon Sancho to Chelsea,
Yeah,
loan deal completed.
Yeah, but for me, I think has largely struggled to put a marker on the Premier League or in the Premier League because he's one guy who needs a little bit more time on the ball to decide what next. That is what the German
doesn't
league
have time for you.
Thank you. The German league will give you that luxury.
Time, yeah.
They will give you that luxury. And like you always say, the Bundesliga look like 80%, 85% of the teams, they all play with a highlight.
Open end-to-end football.
So you will be able to
Open
sesame. I live about the 40. So you will get the chance to be able to do all those tricks and flicks and be able to get away with it.
True.
But with the Premier League, where the fullbacks are as fast as you or even faster than you, because if you have the likes of Kyle Walker and going up against these guys, it's very difficult for you to beat them. Even central defenders are as quick as
Van de Ven is as quick as any winger there is out there.
And so if you are Jadon Sancho and you want just a little bit time on the ball with all that street football still in your DNA, you will largely struggle.
You should go and be late at the training ground.
And on top of that, if you go into games or you go into training sessions with that bad attitude,
I'm the boss.
That's still
I come when I like.
I think he still has that street cred about him, where he still thinks that he's a street baller and he can do everything and anything that he likes.
He's going to run them.
Very true.
Look,
He's going to run them. You
see, but you are playing for United and you are playing under a Dutch coach who has a structured way of doing things. So you can't do anything that you want and believe that you can get away with it and not expect that the manager will criticize you. So for me, he's going to Chelsea. Maresca has shown that he's a no-nonsense guy. He's very direct. I mean, if you can tell Raheem Sterling that I don't need you, you tell Trevor Chalobah and co that go to.
Is it if you're not so cry, you won't play?
Yeah, you get it. I mean,
that's
honestly,
crazy.
I think maybe they made this move to make sure that Cole Palmer is more or less permanently jettisoned to the number 10 role.
Is it Cole Palmer or Mudryk?
No, Cole Palmer. Forget Mudryk. I'm talking about Cole Palmer. That Cole Palmer wouldn't be played as a winger. That he'll be exclusively deployed as a number 10, where he'll play behind the striker, be it Nicolas Jackson or maybe Armando Broja recovers from injury and he ends up being the center forward. I think this move was made with Cole Palmer in mind, playing him as a number 10 exclusively, because once you take him from that wing position, there's another player shot in there, knowing very well that Raheem Sterling is virtually on his way out, and so I think this is a good move.
Let's just dissect that Nyama move real quick. Nathan, Coach Gabi, help me out here. Now we know that he's heading to Fulham, another Ghanaian brother in the Premier League, lefty. Does he get starting minutes, or you think that because I'm not sure Nyama will come cheap.
Oh yeah, he gets.
You think?
Oh, he gets, because Adama Traore will get injured.
And then also,
and
if you look at the way Fulham themselves are playing, it is the Nigerian boy they are asking to do a job from the left.
So
you and I know that he's not that pacey, and Nyoma gives them the option to play from either side of the flank. And look, he's been coached by Marco Silva, a very pragmatic coach. Again, go in there, humble yourself.
That's the thing.
Listen to instructions. Add whatever the coach is demanding of you onto your game and allow your true talent to get you to flourish. You have to be strong mentally. Partey is there. Call him.
You should call Kudus.
Call Kudus. They are there. They are all in London.
London teams.
I share here.
Do what is important.
No,
can share here.
Boy, na need na just Isaaku le won ye jame. Hey, but the fact of the matter is we are proud of all of you guys. You guys are Ghanaians. Look, that pathway that the likes of Anthony Yeboah, I think Yeboah was the first known Ghanaian, or I stand to be corrected. Is it Anthony?
You know that Lamte was there earlier, but Yeboah was.
There was the Everton chapter, the guy who went to Everton. Was
Alex
Nyanku, Yeboah, Odate Lamte, Michael Essien, Aliu Muntari, Asamoah Dede, Jordan. That is your senior brother. He's played in the league for close to 9-10 years. Jordan.
He's in his 10th year.
10th year, Jordan.
In the Premier League.
So Isayaku, when you reach, you call Jordan. And Jordan, like, in brown, no back Charlie boy no ba shama obo tomo mi be na afio dog dan ba no le na je no have any be come keke boba be ocean calm down work.
I'm happy I'm happy you are talking about this staying focused. You see, Ben,
distractions chow.
You see, when footballers they make them when footballers from the same country get around each other in the same league, sometimes they can go off the rails.
They misbehave.
Because they found company and they.
In fact, there's a good example of a French contingent at Arsenal doing exactly this. That's what led Matteo Guendouzi off the rails. In fact, they were found in very. I don't even want to get into it. Like, they were found in like very
nasty
underground. Like the French contingent.
So they will have to support each other. They'll have to encourage each other. But most importantly, they need to be locked in.
Yeah.
And they need to be focused, Ben. Because see. Some of our young players, man, they can easily get distracted. And
True. And London is like the right, is the perfect melting pot for that kind of thing.
If there is anything you cannot take away from Jordan, you
discipline
is the fact that he's a very disciplined
footballer.
Very disciplined.
Very.
To play 10 years in the
APA. Yep.
And that he got from the father.
I feel like we don't talk about that enough.
Look,
like his focus as a player.
He's very much at the top.
Jordan.
So Isayaku and Co. Now, as for Isayaku, he's in the same team with Jordan. So he will be seeing Jordan every day. And as Riyama, you get closer to Jordan and make sure. But look, it's a move. We don't come in like we all said earlier on. If it's permanent, go to Fulham.
Craven Cottage.
Yeah,
that's a good move. That's a good move. Let's get to Raheem Sterling himself and let's talk about him real quick.
So they say Raheem Sterling's move from Chelsea to Arsenal is very close.
Hey!
Sterling's representative.
Wait, hold on. Raheem Sterling to Arsenal.
Yes, Arsenal.
But Raheem Sterling has completed football in the Premier League. Started off at Liverpool, went to City to win championship, came to Chelsea. Maybe he'll retire at United.
So he wants to stay there because he's looking at the fact that his family is still in London. Doesn't want to move around a bit. So he wants the Arsenal move. It's up to just Arsenal to.
Doesn't have to buy a new house and all of that.
But if you ask me, I think that the critical part of this move, you've stated Sterling's part, which is one critical part. The other part will be the money part.
Yeah.
Sterling's
the wages
are heavy.
Yeah. It's simple.
I think the two teams
they are heavy. Do you know if you work the math, of how much
how much is he on 350?
How much is left on his Chelsea contract? It's 70 million pounds.
Goodness gracious.
That's a lot of money.
70 million.
That's a lot of money.
20-something million.
Wow.
You know, so
and
Arsenal will have to work the money part out.
I'm not sure Arsenal will buy him cash.
Yeah. They want to loan him.
It's a loan.
It's a loan.
And typically loans will be a salary split.
Of course, Chelsea and both Arsenal.
Could be 50-50, could be either way.
So for me, I just wanted to see how the money part will work out.
Let's talk about the on the pitch part, coach. Talk to me about Sterling because Trossard is struggling to get into this team, and Trossard is way more clinical than Sterling.
Exactly.
How does this move make sense for us now?
Maybe Arteta will be looking at Raheem Sterling as another option in that false number.
They worked together at Man City.
Exactly.
When Sterling was very prolific.
Yeah, because
Arteta has spoken highly about him.
Exactly, because under when Arteta was assistant coach to Pep Guardiola, there were moments or there were times where Sterling was used as a false number 9. Yes, again, he brings that multifunctional attacking quality to the team. He can play on the right, he can play on the left, and he can play through the middle. So one thing that Sterling himself will also need to admit that he's going into a team where there is huge competition. So that which he went through when he was at Man City, he's likely to go through the same thing here.
So the obligation to buy Sancho is around 25 million actually.
Up to 25 million
yes,
pounds.
that's the correction.
Okay, so then what then Mikel Arteta would need to is to get Sterling to understand, clearly define his roles to him. Look, there will be so many games. The games will be many.
Champions
And
League,
Sterling himself
FA Cup.
should accept that he's not going to be playing in every game. He's not going to be.
Plus, I'm sure he wants to play Champions League football.
Exactly.
Now. Yeah.
Arsenal brings you that, at least from the new Champions League format.
We haven't
You have
discussed
about-
that.
Yeah, we have to have
4 more
that.
games, 4 added games to play if you want to win the cup. From 13 to I think 17 games to win the cup. So there's a lot of games. There's the league, there's the Carabao, and again, you need depth to dethrone Pep Guardiola. He's shown that over the years. So to players like Martinelli, to players like Trossard, even Saka. There are times where we felt that Saka needed a bit of breather, a bit of rest.
Yeah.
So Sterling gives Arsenal that option. And we've seen Sterling that he always tend to flourish in that free-flowing team football where the team is passing. And Arsenal, more or less, is
give him that.
mimicking what Man City presented to him. And I think, look, take it or leave it. He's very experienced. He's a winner. He's won the league. I think he was with Chelsea, with Man City when they won the Champions League.
Yep.
When they did the treble, he had left.
He had left.
Yeah, left.
They sold him in the window.
In that window, yeah.
Okay, so he was there when they won the triple, at least. When they won I think he won 4 league titles in all. So again,
Proven winner.
he's a proven winner. And he's the sort of character you want in that dress. He's not a destructive character. Even at Chelsea.
Just minds his own business, really.
yeah,
the media
yeah.
tries to create trouble for him.
Moresca had not come, or the board and the Chelsea people had not come out to say that, go, we don't want you. If you stay here, you won't play again. We never heard anything of the sort from him. So he walked into that dressing room. He would command lots of, because the likes of Zinchenko, Gabriel Jesus, these were all former teammates. So going in there to fit into whatever Arteta will be makes it very easy. And he's going to be, I think, an added somebody who brings value to whatever Arsenal as a team will be doing in the future.
So Raheem Sterling, looks like that Chelsea move will happen. That Arsenal move will happen. I wonder how Arsenal fans feel about it. Arsenal fans, let me know out there. Please send me messages, tweets via X. How do you feel about Raheem Sterling on the verge of joining your club? Just
There's an update, man.
Yeah.
So
talk to us about
Billy
that.
Gilmore.
This is the part of the transfer window I like. Like there's
Permanent
news
move
coming.
to Napoli from Brighton. So he's joining
Hey.
Scott McTominay. This is proper Antonio
Mark
Conte.
Sauce. This is an Antonio Conte.
Oh my goodness.
The 2 players he signed.
I still like Billy Gilmore a
Yeah.
lot. I won't even lie
Started
to you.
off
He's a
with
player
Chelsea.
I'll take in my team at a glance. Like his ability to control the midfield,
Takes care of
like
the ball.
oh
Yeah.
man, his,
You know,
his composure is so
isn't it-
sweet.
Isn't it interesting that in the last 2 or 3 years,
Yeah.
you find that British players are making a lot
They are-
of
they-
moves outside England?
I was just about to say that they
You know
become
who
a
I
lot
saw-
more
I was
receptive.
watching Las Palmas and Real Madrid. Guess
Okay.
who I saw for Las Palmas?
Who's this?
Do you remember Oli McBurney?
Oh yes, played for the Blades.
Sheffield.
Sheffield,
Yes,
yeah.
he's
Sheffield.
gone to Las Palmas. I was pleasantly surprised.
Wow.
To see a Scottish man.
And there are a couple of them in the Portuguese league as well. So Porto, Sporting, and Co are like picking up all these players that Chelsea, United, and Man City sort of release from their academies. A lot of them end up in the Portuguese league.
You know.
They end up
But-
resurfacing
but,
as
yeah.
newer players.
But talking about Napoli, I guess the biggest one they've grabbed is Scott McTonto, McSauce, McTominay.
Charlie, coach, I'm sure coach is happy. So
No more.
but that's Eric,
McTominay.
but that's Eric Ten Hag's get out of jail free card. Like every time he has a problem in the game, throw on
Yeah, I mean,
McTominay.
Eric Ten Hag himself said it. that
If this Man United team was set, Tommy obviously would have been
a good addition
a
to
squad
have.
player to have. But the team is not set.
You don't have the luxury of having players like him.
That's it. Whilst you need player to come and set up the team, because you clearly look at who he's been exchanged with, not sort of the same player, but McTominay and Ugarte.
Yeah.
If you look at what United really needs at the moment, United technically only have one proper deal,
yeah.
and that is Casemiro.
And Eric Ten Hag said it
Yes,
just this
and that is
evening. That
Casemiro. So if
had 3 number 10s.
there are 3 number 10s. There's Bruno, there's Mason Mount, there's Zegs who can play in that role. Even Ahmad can play in that role. So if you look at what your team needs, then that obviously will inform your decision tactically. And McTominay is homegrown.
Yeah.
So that is absolute profit.
It's profit
into the book. So look, give another second. You see, I think if Man United had gotten rid of, or if they had sold Casemiro earlier to the Saudis, then McTominay would have been kept, because that Casemiro money could have been used to bring in Ugarte, and Tomine would have been kept. But it became very clear that of all the players in and around the team, the one with the most value is McTominay. So you let him go quickly. You bring in Manuel Ugarte, who is exactly what the team needs.
You should see United's tribute video. They actually put out an official tribute video for Scott McTominay, about 4-minute video. Contains interviews of Marcus Rashford. So he and Rashford they started out together at Man United and all of that.
They have sacked the son of the club.
And McTominay himself says, he's been here for a bit, so it's time to try something.
He's not happy. You have forced him out.
But the point is, you see, Ben,
we the fans of McTominay, we are not happy.
No problem. You can cheer him on because Napoli now they have Skelia on one flank.
Yeah.
It means that these days Cross is on. Nana from Kashiman sent a message. Cross is in Coutinho, Skelia floating the ball, McTominay, Lukaku. If Osimhen doesn't go, Osimhen in there.
That's what I was going to come to right now. It looks like that deal will collapse. Osimhen to Chelsea, Osimhen to Al Ahly, nothing is moved.
Osimhen to Chelsea, it looks like it may not happen before the deadline.
But the Al Ahly deal was already. Apparently, they've thrashed out everything. All Al Ahly needed was Osimhen to say, "I am coming."
True.
And he's put them on ice. So it looks like
he doesn't want to go to Saudi.
Why not?
He still wants to play in Europe.
For what?
No, but I mean,
it is for money. It is for money you are playing.
According to Osimhen, he's not looking at the money. He still wants to be playing in a competitive league.
Yeah. You see,
the problem now
is
the striker's price tag.
If he doesn't leave, he will stay at Napoli.
And he's locked into a new...
when he stays at Napoli too, it's not like he's going to play.
He's locked into a long-term deal.
You see, whether Napoli likes it or not, they will have to play him. Because they are giving him good money. Good cash.
And I don't think Napoli is that kind of team that can afford to pay a lot of money and leave a player on the bench.
Yes, they bought Romelu Lukaku. Osimhen may not enjoy the luxury of being the obvious number 9, but if you put him and Lukaku together,
Osimhen is a better player than Lukaku now.
He's better.
Coach, clearly Conte doesn't want to use him.
That's
Conte has gone for his man in Lukaku.
I think Conte has...
It is not about Conte because Osimhen said he wanted to leave.
Yes, there's some...
If Osimhen has told the people I'm staying, he will not go and buy Lukaku.
Yeah.
Because Conte, it will be shocking to me here for Conte to think that Lukaku is better than Osimhen. So at the end of the day...
But you also don't want an unhappy player in your hands. So yes, I think they have a tricky situation.
Yeah, but see, for the fact that Osimhen didn't get the move, I'm not sure he's the type that will go into that dressing room and cause. All the players there are his players already.
Yeah.
So getting him to stay, maybe who knows, till January. Chelsea are in Sancho. Maybe Chelsea do not have the money to go and fully push through the move now. If Nicolas Jackson and co are still misfiring. In fact, I am shocked that Chelsea couldn't raise the money, because if you are taking Raheem Sterling off the wage bill,
maybe
he's still on loan. So technically, he's still on the wage
to raise the money for Osimhen.
Yes.
No. So the thing is, because they've offloaded Lukaku, and the owners don't want to bring in players and put them on high wages again.
Yep.
That is why
they're literally downsizing on their wages.
I understand.
It's either he takes a pay cut, because now the problem is the wage demand.
No, but how much
because
money?
I think at Napoli he's on what, 300,000.
Yeah, but how much money do you think Osimhen is to take when he comes to Chelsea?
Osimhen, I mean,
that is how much he's worth.
Minimum 250,000.
Yeah, he's worth
250,000. So if you are paying Enzo, how much is Enzo Fernandez and goal ticket? It is the fact that Chelsea themselves don't know what they want.
But you see, Coach,
I would have preferred if they didn't go for Saudi, they wouldn't have. They shouldn't have allowed Abantoni to go to Saudi.
Yeah.
And Abantoni has gone to. So there's a huge void there. Now Nicolas Jackson, I know, will be thanking his Senegal gods that Osimhen didn't come. So it's over to him to go and prove himself. But clearly, I think it will come down to that: the lack of a natural. We have said that Arsenal will not win the league because some people think they will not win because they don't have a proper number 9. And the same thing applies to Chelsea. We all saw the chances that Chelsea could not put away last season. Now, for me, I'm very much disappointed. I think they should have found a way to get Osimhen to come to Chelsea.
Yeah, no, you know what I think? I think Osimhen needs to fire his agent. That's the first thing that needs to happen because I was here telling people
I would have fired him.
That
contract extension
was very senseless. And some people said that, oh, you know what? He's putting in a release clause so that when clubs come, all they do is guess what? Nobody thinks Osimhen is worth that kind of money right now. Yes. And so right now, and he signed he's locked in for like the next 3 or 4 years. What do you do in a situation like that? And apparently, he and his agent are trying to stay in Europe as much as they can, but are also trying to demand Saudi wages while staying in Europe. So
Napoli will not pay you.
It's a very messy.
After the Napoli contract, he's already signed it. So they are giving him 300,000 euros a week.
So
and at the end of the day,
they're in it's a very funny situation for him. And you know the funny thing about teams is, coach, sometimes when they are paying you a lot of wages and some way somehow because of you the player a transfer didn't materialize, they will not deliberately or directly try to frustrate you, but they will do things to let you know that you are hurting their wage bill, then you need to move.
Look, he gave them something that they never experienced in 30 years.
True.
A league title.
True.
And he served them. They sitting down with him and agreeing that, look, it didn't work well. Give us another good year. I think if Osimhen can, even last season, he didn't have the best of season.
He scored over 20 goals.
But he scored over 25 goals in all competition.
Yeah.
In his worst of season where he got injured and all that. So if Osimhen can quickly sit down, reframe himself or readjust himself and then begin to focus again, let me give them another solid push for the league title. There's Lukaku in there to help the cause.
Yeah.
So that overburden or over-reliance on him is a bit minimized. Then you can get others to support. Good season for them. Then they'll come to a compromise. Because I think if you put up another good season in the Serie A, teams in Europe will come for him. And then they can sit back and look at it. And because the Saudi people, they were paying Napoli, I think 70 million euros.
Yep. And they said they were going to give him 120 million.
They were paying they were paying Napoli 70 million euros. I think a good season from Osimhen should warrant anything between 70 to 80 million euros from any team.
True.
Put him on a 300,000 pounds a week or simple, and then he leaves. Because Napoli themselves knows that if they give him the platform for him to play, they stand to make good money. So they cannot sabotage. If they sabotage, after him, he's on a 4-year, 300,000 pounds a week, euros a week contract. Whether he plays or not,
he's taking his money.
No, but in all of this, I look at the player himself, and I've mingled with players before, and I know when they, of course, he's a professional, but it does not write, off the fact that he's still a footballer, just like students. No matter the age you have reached in life, sometimes when you get into the student field, you get your thinking to change again. You really want to behave like a student and all. I look at him as a player and his focus in play. He set a standard for himself.
Yep.
And I feel that if you decide to stay with the club, which, like Coach said, you granted in 30 years, something they've not experienced before, that is where you have to come up, with your A game again. And staying focused is key. You could recall that when the Nigerian situation happened, where the coach came and was mentioning a lot of things about him, he quickly hopped onto the social media space and just started ranting and saying his part of the narrative. And as a footballer,
I never thought he was that kind of guy, actually.
Absolutely.
Didn't see that part of him at all.
So for me, it's about his mental strength, how tough he is.
I think he's in a tough place mentally right now, honestly.
But again, on the Jadon Sancho, I think Chelsea are covering all his salary. Because that was one of my United conditions.
Yes.
So if you're taking Raheem Sterling, you're ready to pay 250 to.
Then if you want to add,
probably means he's agreed to
maybe a pay cut. Maybe.
Very possible. Very possible. I'm sure the details, deadline day will not give you the satisfaction of getting all the details in. But as for Victor Osimhen, I really want to see how this whole saga. I really knew that it will come to this the moment he signed that contract. And you know your good friend,
Yeah,
Aurelio De Laurentiis. always like this when it comes to selling players. So very interesting stuff going on
and
there.
I'm happy you mentioned it. Once that new contract was signed and they put that obscene release clause on his head, you always knew that it would complicate any transfer.
It's the agent
you remember when he went to
agent and Napoli president Eddie. Because why would you? I mean, you have such a very
his agent is thinking. That's what I'm saying. It's projection. He's thinking that, you know what, Victor is hot right now. If we sign this contract with a release clause of 120 million, that's more money on my agent commission side. But they didn't estimate the fact that teams will not have money to want to buy their player. Very interesting.
Because at the time of
situation.
extending the contract, he still had like 2 more years to run.
True.
Allow him to play.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Ivan Toney move. Ivan Toney is another very interesting. He's completed his move to Al Ahly. So he's actually completed the first part of his medical, and he will be joining who's even at Al Ahly these days. So Koulibaly, Mendy.
Is that not where the former
Neymar?
The former
Neymar is at Al Hilal.
Oh yes, Al Hilal rather.
Benjamin Koulibaly, then Koulibaly, then Ivan Toney team is different.
Hold on, I think it's actually Al Hilal. Hold on, Ivan
he's
Toney,
going to Al
Ahly. Let me just be sure that those two teams confuse me a little. Let me just
Al B.
With the 21, where Tony is heading to is Al Ahly.
Al Ahly, okay. Al Ahly is where it has Kante and Benzema.
Yeah.
Benzema, Kante, Fabinho. Yes.
No, Benzema is with Al Ittihad. Kante too is with Al Ittihad. So Al Ahly is the one that has Koulibaly and that squad.
Wait, so Al Ittihad have the yellow colors, yellow and black. Good. Al Ahly have their colors are green.
Blue. No, later it's light blue.
Light blue,
yeah,
blue
light
and white.
Blue, yeah. And then white.
Where's Firmino?
Yeah, so Firmino is with that team.
Al Ahly.
Then they were green.
Yes, they were green.
They were green.
Yes, they were green.
Yes. So it's Firmino and Saint Maxima at Al Ahly.
Yes.
Good. And then they have Gabriel Vega.
Yeah, so they were green.
Good.
So yes.
So that's
Firmino, Koulibaly.
That's where this guy's heading.
Yeah, so that's where Ivan Toney is heading to.
Al Ahly.
Yes, Al Ahly.
Interesting.
But he's still in London though.
Guys,
but that's where he's made his first.
I mean, Nathan, let me take this from you. Why do you think Tony could not complete a move to a Premier League side? Because I feel like everybody agreed that he was going to be a valuable addition to a Premier League side. Strong number 9, confident guy, captain for his team. Why could he not lock down a move in his country?
I think it came down to which team needed a striker or a forward. I think lots of the teams had those bases covered. So Chelsea themselves were not too sure of what they wanted to do. So they had one eye on Ivan Toney, the other on Victor Osimhen, just to see what would happen.
And another Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Liverpool clearly are stocked in that position. Man City don't need a player like Ivan Toney. The other option was Manchester United. But the point is that United's new people running the show, the people under Ineos, Wilcox, Ashworth and things, the new resolution they have made is that they will not sign players above 26. So they're signing players 26 or below. Ivan Toney is 29, right? 28, 29. So clearly he didn't fit either. So that was it. And he also made it very clear to Brentford he wanted to move on to something else. I guess the thinking was that maybe a team would show up for him. But Arsenal did not. United clearly did not. Chelsea were looking at other things. And so now he had to make a move. And it came down to who was going to offer him money. And Al Ahly offered him very, very, very good money. But for Brentford, a player who served one of the greatest players they've ever had, if they're taking 40 million from him at his age, I guess they'll take it and be happy. In any case, they've had one whole season, or let's say they've played a long time without him. When he was undergoing his betting ban, they understood what life would be without Ivan Toney.
Do you think that played a role in teams stepping away
of
from
course,
him?
because,
for example, a team like Manchester United clearly would not go in for such a player. And you clearly realize that Man United clearly disassociated themselves for any move, because it's about the brand, it's about the morals. And the boy himself, look, another information that came in, that he's got attitudinal problem. He's got he's the type of guy that could easily walk in the dressing and think that he wants to play in every game. You remember there was a talk of him during the Euros where when England was losing the game and Southgate said he told him, "Me no time have a ball, let me. It's 2 minutes. What are you expecting me to go and do?"
And Southgate said he told him that maybe this could be your moment, stay focused and go and play. He's that type of player who could, if he doesn't get what he wants, he could easily destabilize the dressing room. So that, because that is one of the reasons why Arsenal in particular, you see, previously we were told that
Arsenal were very interested.
They were looking at him. And in fact, of all the big teams, Arsenal were the one who,
they showed the most concrete interest.
And they even shocked me because they didn't go for him. Because we've all said here.
So somebody's basically saying that he had a meeting with Arteta a couple of months ago, and Arteta was not too enthused about, like you're saying, his aura and attitude.
Exactly. And for the fact that I think his Premier League proven to, the only thing that would have pushed those teams away from him is his aura, the way he does his thing. You don't want such a person in the dressing room. So it is what it is. Maybe that is where he has to be.
Let's take a quick break here on Don't Call Me. We'll take a couple of commercials. We'll come back and then we'll launch more into it. So a couple more deals looking to be taken over the line by teams, and then we will.
I haven't mentioned that Man United have completed the Manu Gatti.
Yes. He's completed his medical.
The move has been announced.
I mean, medical announcement. I've seen him writing on that fake dotted sheet where they act like, no, it's true. He's not signing anything. They say they'll tell him, Charlie, yet it says any signing documents. In trial picture. You know that house. That's how they. I've seen him do it. I will talk about that.
We've got some comments.
Let me. Okay, yes. Let's keep those on freeze for now. Let's take the quick break. When we come back, we'll get into all of that in a bit. So stay with us. Transfer deadline day here on 97.3 Citi FM. There's more to come. We'll be wrapping up all the deals that are done as well. We'll try and assign marks to which team has done the most important deals or who has had the most impressive transfer window. All of that. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah.
Here's to the friends who dialed star 712 hash and found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold. To the health workers who diagnosed luck with precision. To the tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now, here's to you. Your next big win is right here.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone.
Dial star 712 hash. Now join in the luckiest winning celebration. Every 1st July 2024. Over dial star 712 hash. Now I can to tickets as a group, individual, and now even as a community. Now win is the card prizes are in the community draw or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 hash. Now join in the winning streak now.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
Welcome to Eden Heights, where your dream home awaits in the hearts of West Hills, Waja in Accra. Enjoy the relaxed life in an exceptional and gated community uniquely designed for you and your family. At Eden Heights, we are dedicated to providing you with utmost security and comfort in a serene environment. Eden Heights has generously spacious, modern and ready to move in 2, 3 and 4 bedroom apartments and penthouses with grade A finishing available for sale and rentals. We further offer flexible payment plans tailor-made for your convenience. And there's more. Eden Heights has ultra-modern social amenities in place for your wellness and relaxation. Live your best life with your family and loved ones. Keep fit in our state-of-the-art gym. Score goals on our full-size soccer pitch. Enjoy leisurely runs on our tracks. Play basketball in our fully air-conditioned halls. Perfect your tennis serves or simply relax in our stunning Olympic-sized swimming pool. Celebrate every day. Your best life is within reach at Eden Heights. Arrange a viewing today. Reach us on 050-153-1444 or 050-153-1445 or visit our website at www.edenheights.com.gh and own your dream home today. Eden Heights, the heights of modern living.
1xBet brings emotions. Every player has a chance to win big with 1xBet Casino. You too can go to the 1xBet.com.gh and get up to 24,000 CD and 150 free spins using the GH Casino promo code. 1xBet offers a great selection of top slots, interesting games, and bonuses. Find out more about the benefits on 1xBet. 1xBet Casino, where fortune awaits.
Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for persons under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
Are you ready for the Serene experience? Join us at Volta Serene Hotel from the 20th to the 23rd of September.
It's the ultimate Founders Month celebration in partnership with TravelX.
Whether you are coming as an individual, a couple, or with family, we've got the perfect package for you. Enjoy 2 nights at just 2,800 Ghana cedis, or 3 nights at just 3,500 for individuals.
Couples, grab your 2-night stay for 4,000 Ghana cedis, or 3 nights for 5,095 Ghana cedis.
And families, indulge in 2 nights for 6,500 Ghana cedis, or 3 nights for 8,500 Ghana cedis. Kick off with a happy hour. Explore 3 destinations. Enjoy live band music, outdoor games, movies, karaoke night, and poolside fun.
Don't miss out on the Serene experience. For more information, call 054-139-867, 036-202-8805, 036-202-5243, or 020-503-8763.
Visit VoltaSereneHotel.com for terms and conditions. The Serene experience. Make memories that last a lifetime.
City 97.3. Accra.
One place, May, for sale, 120 cheap. Don't come yo, don't come me. We dey loan this player $1,000. Don't come yo, don't come me. For this striker we can consider. Don't come yo, don't come. We know they see you use. Tina Boka, don't come yo.
So goals are Sansa Torres. Now on time she goes a prince of goals. Now on one year drinks.
Welcome back. My name is Benjamin Iketia, live on 97.3 Citi FM. It's Don't Call Me time. We've gone through quite a number of transfers, Ghanaian, foreign, Premier League. Brought you a few updates, or the big updates you've missed so far. If you are just joining us, is that Ghana's Ernest Nuama is heading to Fulham Football Club, according to the reports, in a permanent deal. Jadon Sancho has also completed a loan move to Chelsea Football Club from Manchester United. Victor Osimhen's anticipated transfer has collapsed. No move to Saudi, no move to Chelsea. Naples is where the action is at. I'll get to my YouTube people also in a bit. Let me read a few messages that are coming through now. This one here is from Bedroom Rodrigo de Paul from La Paz. He says, Charlie. Yeah, he texted it last week. He says, Coach will kill me. Ask Coach, will Osimhen help Chelsea win the league or play UCL next season? My real name is Kwame, please. Say, okay, Bedroom Rodrigo. Your nice name.
It doesn't look like that move is happening.
No, it's not. It's collapsed, actually. I think this message came in earlier. This one says, please, John Pencil also played in the EPL for Fulham too.
Yeah. He was for Fulham and West Ham as well.
Yep.
And Leicester at some point.
And there's that story about he and Peter Crouch. Do you ever hear that?
Oh yeah, where Posani baby Kakra. Let me not talk about it on radio. Let's move on. This one here says hello. Man United signed Ugarte. They've announced him actually. So Ugarte is a United player. You can sleep well tonight. Anyway, more messages coming through. I think we'll clear this field and get more messages. Let me get to my YouTube people and just touch on a few YouTube ones. But Nathan, Wilfred Zaha is heading to Olympic Lyon in a reverse move from Ernest Nuama. So we'll touch on that a bit. I'll let you and Coach have a touch on that. I'll tell you about an underrated signing nobody's talking about. There's a guy Crystal Palace have acquired from Wolfsburg, a French guy called Maxence Lacroix. Fantastic centre-back, 6'3", also as quick as Van der Ven. I don't know what they do at Wolfsburg, but very, very solid French centre-back. They've got him for an absolute steal. I'll get
the guy who kind of looks like William Saliba.
He does.
Why didn't Crystal Palace sell the English? Yeah, because he's in his final year.
Magehi himself is not serious. If I am no, he's not serious. If I'm Magehi and the team wants to offer 60 or 70 million for me, and Palace are holding me, I'll go on strike.
The boy is young. He's been smart.
No,
that's the final year. He's in his final year.
Yeah. So he will wind it down.
But that doesn't make sense for Palace because you are a poor club and you can get relegated.
You are turning down 70 million.
And you see, because they had one decent season away from relegation, they think they've arrived. But you are Crystal Palace. You really could be relegated this season. I mean, if the bottom caves in. So I'm just surprised he didn't push for a move. But like you're saying, 1 year would have made a lot of sense for the team to make money. Some way, somehow he didn't go. But I think in Maxence Lacroix, they have a really good player. Looks like Glasner is invading the Bundesliga for German players.
That's it. Managers will typically go where
they know.
Yes, especially if they are the ones calling the shots.
Yep. So that's what's going on. That's another player in there. Let me get to the messages from YouTube. A lot of them coming in. This one is from One Nana. It says, my favorite Friday night show is Airborne. Greetings to my senior Bloby, Coach Chris. Ajeman says, Fabricio just said Osimhen's deal is over. I think we announced that now. Nisaka says the Fulham deal is okay. I think that's happened already, so no need to even touch on that. Okay. Okay, so I'll get some more messages from here when we can. Nathan, quick thoughts on our good friend Wilfred Zaha, Ivorian Wilfred Zaha. Very talented player, but comes with a lot of baggage. Looks like he's managed to get out of Turkey. It was a tumultuous time out there for him. It was ups and downs, good times and bad times, but he's in a place where the language is familiar to him, but a dysfunctional club like you're saying.
Yeah, I guess for Lyon it's a case of one winger out, one winger in. It's a case of maybe replacing Nyama and seeing what happens.
Lefty with a lefty.
Yes, I mean, Zaha is right-footed, so if you like. So it's interesting to see.
I've seen him play with his left a lot of times, actually.
He actually
he's a
right-footed player.
Interesting.
Right-footed player. So for I'd love to see where Lyon go with this. I mean, he comes with lots of experience that you give him. You give him that. But I don't know whether they are ready to handle the other parts of his game. Zaha can be a bit of a diva sometimes and all. So we'll wait to see. But I guess Lyon...
Sometimes?
Or all the time. I guess this move tells us that Lyon recognize that there's a hole they need to fill. And this was the option they found. And so they are putting him in there. It will be very interesting to see where they go from here. Like I said, they've had a very tumultuous start. It's been very poor. Last season they struggled until they got right, and then they managed to finish in a decent place. This season hasn't started well. I hope that they do rectify their ways and get it going. But Zaha, he's an experienced signing, not the player he was a few years ago when he left England and all. But maybe the French league just could be where things start to get together for him once again in his career.
Coach, this is a player you know very well.
Yeah.
Don't call me this move or
very
not.
good friend.
I think, look, his move to Turkey was a bit shocking to me. I thought that at the time, once he...
Palace had the chance to sell Zaha for big money, and they did the same thing they are doing with Maguire.
Exactly, and they are going to repeat the same mistake again. But Zaha, I don't know what Galatasaray offered him. It was very clear that once he went there, he was going to go on a dip. He was going to dip. Coming back to the French league at this age, there were offers. There was some, I think, Crystal Palace, even at some point in time, wanted to bring him back this season. But clearly, you can clearly see that...
The greatest player in their history.
Yeah, so for the fact that he's gone in there to replace the Ghanaian, a void has been created by an Esniaman exit. He's a good player. Look, Zaha on his day can be problematic for any team, for any defender.
Yeah.
And
when he's focused and wants to play
football, he knows how to do it.
Proper winger.
And for me, it's a good signing for Lyon. I'm very sure that there will come in some reduction in pay so that we'll be able to pay him, because we've established on this program that there's a bit of financial problem with the French league. So, look, he's a good player, and he's expected to go in and fit in there and add value to their squad. It's a move I don't come in, though, without a doubt.
So, Wilfred Zaha has made his move. So that's what it is as things stand now. He is off to Olympic Lyonnais. Another deal that's happened that's just come through is Edin Ketia to Palace. That deal is done. £30 million.
It was. I remember when it started, it was progressing and then it collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were looking at other options. Crystal Palace came into the equation.
Yep.
And then it looks like he's gone to Nottingham Forest. Right?
Hold on. We're getting another update. Hold on. And the Nyawa's deal to Fulham is in jeopardy.
Why?
So according to Fabrizio Romano, he first stated about 30 minutes ago that deal was closed. This one says that the deal to Fulham now on the verge of collapsing after new issues. Currently off.
I see.
Wow.
Whoa.
See, I told you that.
Charlie, the transfer the transfer market is
minutes ago.
Yep.
Agent.
The transfer market is so tumultuous. Especially deadline day.
It can get really tricky. All kinds of things can pop up. We'll keep an eye on that and see what it will mean.
I'm sure the agents are demanding something.
I'm saying that.
And they're demanding something.
I think we'll have more clarity in the next couple of hours. So let's not even dwell too much on that. These things can always be complex. Like we always say, when it comes to a transfer, it's never really done until
it's on the verge of collapse.
Yep.
So they are still talking on the phone.
I'm sure
they are still talking.
Hopefully it happens, man. Hopefully, I want it to happen for him. So we'll do a few, silent prayers for Enes.
But we're talking about Edin Ketia to Forest.
To Palace, actually.
To Palace. Yeah. That's an interesting move. Of the two teams who were in it, I thought Nottingham Forest should have pushed more because they are the ones who I think need
a striker. Like that.
Look, Tarawani has injury issues.
Yep.
Chris Wood is aging.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought they would have pushed for a younger player who would be there for them, more durable. He has Premier League experience and can deliver.
Yeah.
But it looks like Palace are the ones who've offered a lot more to satisfy Edin Ketia's camp.
Eduardo has gone to Leicester City.
Mm-hmm.
Otson Edouard.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that explains it. They are one striker short, and they need somebody who will be there all the time. So I understand the move. Edin Ketia would have loved to stay in London, if you ask me. From what I do know, it looks like he would have wanted to stay in London. So that works for him. So Edin Ketia, congrats to you on the move. Let's hope he gets more minutes. And in playing more football, he can come to a decision as to which country he wants to represent. Because I get the feeling if he's consistent and he's scoring the goals, he will catch England's eye and they may offer an opportunity. So let's hope. It's for his own good that he gets to play more often.
Yeah.
He gets to show his talent at this level.
Gabi, just quick thoughts on that Edin Ketia move and then we'll move it on.
Well, I'm not too surprised that he's moved on because you look at the question is how many games or opportunities is he going to get at Arsenal? And clearly he was telling last season that he wasn't used much under Mikel Arteta, so he needed to move on. Not too long, I saw an interview of him speaking about the fact that he was looking to, or he was considering playing for the Black Stars. You get it? And so, I mean,
after saying a few months ago that he was focused on England.
Yeah. So, in as much as he's not playing for the Black Stars yet, our people here are keeping taps on him, and it's good for the player to get more minutes under his belt and see what's up for him. But I think with the Nottingham Forest move, I look at the two players. Nathan, you mentioned Chris Wood and also Taiwan Awoniyi. You look at those two players; they're a type of their profile is very similar.
Big athletic players.
Yes, and I would understand.
I think Ketia is very different.
Very good. I would understand why he would pick the Palace move over Nottingham Forest because if you look at the way Nottingham Forest played last season, it was almost every time route one. Take the ball to the byline, hit a crossing, looking for Taiwo Awoniyi or Chris Wood, head it in. Edin Ketia is not going to do that job for you.
Palace play a bit more intricate.
Exactly. So he wants and Ben, it's your good friend, the coach. We know him. That is the type of football he would like his players to tack in and see. So I think let's just see if he gets that minute. Probably he can just rotate with John Felipe Mateta and see if he can nick in some good numbers.
So Edin Ketia to Crystal Palace is confirmed, £30 million. Let me tell you about another move that will probably fly under the radar. Another Brazilian is coming to the Premier League. He's a centre-back. He's called Morato. He's coming in from Benfica. Right? Coming into Nottingham for a 6'5" guy.
Nottingham Forest every time doing so.
6'4" guy, lefty centre-back. Very good guy. Very good player, actually. Big guy. Moves really well for somebody his size. I think he's 22 years or so. So they are getting a really solid player. Hopefully he can adapt to the Premier League because...
You say Raheem Sterling has arrived at Arsenal's training ground.
Oh, yes.
No, it's coming home.
Raheem Sterling has arrived at Arsenal's training ground. So that deal is indeed happening. Let me tell you about also another underrated move that you might not hear about. Again, involving not too popular a club. Southampton Football Club are looking to buy Genk Moroccan international Bilal El Khanous. I don't know if you've ever heard of Bilal El Khanous, 19 or 20-year-old attacking midfielder from Genk. Very, very
Moroccan.
Moroccan.
Yeah.
Very, very skillful player.
I saw him at the Olympics.
Yep, 19 million pounds, and they are looking to bring him in if they can make that move happen. Not the kind of player who attracts a lot of attention, but you know, if you find a Moroccan ball juggler,
he's a good player.
We've seen a fair few.
You just wait for it. So Bilal El Khanous is an underrated signing coming into the PL. I think you should look out for that one. I'll be getting you a little more updates on another player that you should also keep your eye on. Charlie, the deals are flying in left, right, center.
It's been a very active window
at this point. So Premier League clubs are trying to... Let me just ask Coach this. Coach, are you concerned about Manchester City's lack of transfer activity?
No. I think they are the only team in the Premiership that's got at least 2 players
in every position.
So there isn't the need to go out there and overly splash the cash.
You don't think it will bother them? I mean, they've lost Oscar Bob through injury.
He'll be back.
They brought in Gundogan.
The only player that they've lost is the Argentine boy. And if you look at the way Pep Guardiola goes about his business, he'll not go buy for the sake of it. He's looking out for a certain quality. If the quality is not available, he will not attempt it. And I think, can they live without that boy? Yes, they can live without him. Because he himself he's not been a more dominant force in the team. So, yes, you would expect that Man City will go out there and strengthen. But if you look at their direct competitors, if you look at Liverpool, they've only brought in Federico Chiesa. Arsenal, they've brought in a defender, the Italian, Calafiori, who was then the Spanish boy,
Merino.
Okay, so do they make Arsenal stronger and better than Man City? I don't think so. Man United are the team that needed to bring in players. They've gone and they've brought in 5 quality players in. These are quality.
So have you won the transfer? United have won the transfer window. In terms of quality,
I don't think. Of course, if you look at the big teams in the land,
if I'm great, I think they have the highest transfer grade.
You see, United have the most problems
to solve. So it is expected that they do what they have done. Okay. They needed Manuel Ugarte, a player I think we'll talk about very soon. Matthijs de Ligt, of course, Mazouari, of course, Zegzi, and then the young French.
Let's talk about a deal that's also happened just about an hour ago. Tamaribi Takumo Abraham.
Tammy Abraham.
He's gone to AC Milan.
AC Milan on loan.
You see,
AC Milan on loan.
He's never convinced me as a player.
How so? I thought he was decent at Chelsea and even decent at AS Roma.
No. He's too soft. If you look at his strike, his physique, and the sort of, I don't know, but the power that
does he need the power if his finesse is good enough?
He's never been a player to be physically.
Yeah.
He is tall.
No, he is tall, but he's not dominant in the air. That should bring some form of dominance in the air. If you look at him or Osimhen, they stand there. You wouldn't
they have almost like the
same habit. If you look at how bossy Osimhen can be in the air, you don't expect him. You don't see that of Abraham. But if you look at what Milan themselves needed, once they got rid of Olivier Giroud, Alvaro Morata was brought in. He played in the first game. He got injured. I think he'll be back in about a month or so. They need that number 9. Somebody, don't forget, they've not started the season very well. So they need somebody who give them that focal point. I think in regards to that, I think he's a player they needed. So it is proper to go in for such a player who help them do something different from what they don't have already. So look, it's a move I don't commit. It's a loan move to be made permanent based on his performances. So yes, you want to say that he's acquainted himself very well with the Italian Serie A. I just hope he stays fit, because remember he got a very horrible injury that kept him out of a chunk part of last season, and now that he's come back, he's going to Milan. He should just go, stay focused, and allow the coach to use him the way he wants to be used. And don't get me wrong, Tom Abraham can score goals.
He can.
I think when the chance comes, he puts that away. So it's a move I don't commit on the grounds that he's the sort of player Milan really needs to bring some form of proper endpoint or
AC Milan have been a lost,
whatever
they've been a very confused team for a minute.
Yeah.
Just talk to me. Let me just stay with you for a minute. Just talk to me about that Ugarte move. Like we've stated here, it's done. He's been announced as a Man United player. Deal, I think, just about 50 million. 40.
I think 43 million.
With add-ons. Add-ons, just in that 50 million region. He wanted United wanted him.
That's it.
How big a problem does he solve for the team, and how quickly does he become a first choice?
The direct competitors of Manchester United should pray very hard that this young man doesn't settle in. Because if he does, he makes United better. He's the sort of player that this team has needed for years, especially after Michael Carrick left. Casemiro came in not to be a long-term solution to the problem. We said United needed a proper DM, a DM that is accustomed to winning the ball off the opponent and getting the team to go on the transition immediately.
Yeah.
So Casemiro, we saw him in his very first season. He did that excellently. He got carried away, went for preseason, lost his shape, and was very bad. This season, he's recovered. He's trimmed down. But his legs are gone. After 70 minutes, watch Casemiro, he struggles. In Manuel Ugarte, he brings something that United has been craving for. That desire to dispossess and win the ball off the opponent. That anticipation to be the player, to be the first person to get to the ball with some form of aggressiveness and get everybody around the team to play at the high line. United with Ugarte, delete Martinez completely, straight away without any delay. They play a high line. And if you've known Erik ten Hag, that is what he's always wanted to do. He always wanted his team to play high line like Liverpool doing, like Arsenal are doing. But if you've got Maguire and co, you cannot play a high line. If you've got Casemiro and co, you cannot play a high line. So Emmanuel Ugarte, the high line is now set with Delete and Martinez. What he will be doing is very simple. He's not the flamboyant type of player. He's a good passer of the ball, but his major attribute is to win the ball off the opponent. And you've got it. If you are a team and you've got that player in your mix, he can only make you stronger, because it's like when you are not in possession of the ball.
So the biggest input I'm getting from this is that you say United can now play front foot football and can now press.
Let me ask you
quick one. There's breaking news coming in.
Okay. Do you wanna?
So breaking news coming in is that Felix Afena-Jan is heading to Juventus on loan from Cremonese.
Wow.
So that's not concluded yet, but it's coach is literally speechless. So basically, that's the news coming in. It's not confirmed yet.
I've always loved that boy.
Yep. And you know, his agent actually is Oliver Atta. Oliver has deep roots at Juventus.
Look,
he had a lot of players at Juventus from back in the day. Deep roots at Juventus.
I've always loved that boy.
Yeah.
I pray this move happens.
When you have a powerful agent,
Charlie.
That's why you have to get powerful agent.
When you have a powerful agent,
Charlie.
I've always loved that boy. I think I've always maintained, as a country, we've not treated him fair.
Because I want to ask you this. This week, I've read and heard several people say that in an ideal Man United setup, if they play Ugarte and Casemiro. I don't know whether it will ever happen or it should even happen. But some people are saying that if Ugarte is played and Casemiro is also in the same team, it frees Casemiro to go further up the pitch. Tactically, what do you say to that? Will Casemiro help United, assuming there's somebody doing the protection behind him and he goes further up the pitch? Can he help United playing further up the pitch?
In certain games, that will have to happen. Especially in games where Man United want to play a false number 9. I think Ugarte, Casemiro, Kobe Menu, then Bruno false number 9. That would be very beneficial. Because look, take it or leave it. Casemiro over the years, I mean, he's that only
class.
DM class that knows how to go out and score goals. How often do you see, we saw Sergio Busquets and Repello, if it is not free kick, you hardly see him go out there. We've seen the likes of Michael Carrick, long range, but Casemiro he actually gets into the box and add to that. So let's say in a game a game like Man City, my only regret is that United they've not registered Ugarte on time to get him to play against Liverpool on Sunday. So Casemiro will be restricted on Sunday. But I agree perfectly that it is a system that will work in some of the big games, especially if you take this United team to the Emirates, okay, where they're going to be playing against a team that wants to dominate that ball. A Casemiro Ugarte pivot with Kobe Menu in the hole and Bruno Fernandes as a false number 9, with the likes of Ahmad or Garnacho on both sides, or Kobe Menu, we shouldn't forget, is a very young player. He's not expected to play in every game.
Okay.
Or he breaks down, and it's going to be very dangerous for the young man to recover. So there are moments in this season where Kobe Menu should be given some rest. And I think Casemiro, Ugarte, Bruno Fernandes, number 10, and either Zegzi or Højlund, with two proper wingers, I'm saying that the opponents of United in the league should pray that this boy doesn't settle. Because everything is pointing to the fact that if it's Onana, Dalot, imagine Luke Shaw is back and he's fit, it's Delete, it's Martinez, it's of course Ugarte, Casemiro, or Ugarte, Kobe Menu, Bruno Fernandes, and the team is set. And there'll be good, able replacement on the bench.
Yeah. Let's talk about that Felix Afenaja move real quick. Gabi, Nathan, Coach, indulge me. They say it's on the verge of happening. It's a loan move.
Juventus B team?
Juventus, actually.
Okay.
Juventus B team. So Juventus B.
No, I think he needs the playing time. This is most important. I mean, he shot, up, came to the national team. He didn't get a chance because of issues that transpired after he helping the team qualify to the World Cup. Then he went back.
Just before you continue, okay, so we should have taken him to the World Cup.
Okay, so it's been hold on. So it's from Nicolo Shira. I think he's an Italian reporter. Yes, Afenajan to Juventus from Cremonese on loan, option to buy. Play for Juventus next gen. Juventus next gen will be the Juventus B team, and then I'm sure obviously we'll have a pathway to the main team. But just quick thoughts on that deal. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, very surprising. Just blew out and just in our faces. But like Coach Riley said, this was a player that we all thought he would grow and become the next
big thing for us,
big superstar.
I think there's still time
for the Black. Yes, it's not lost. All is not lost. And I mean that Jan tag, that conversation, his time at the Black Stars came in, scored on his debut. Things were going right for him, but all of a sudden he just went under the radar. But like Abeku Riley said, the player needs the playing time. Whether it's the B team, is the senior team, he needs to take hold of this opportunity and make it count. It has to work. Like you rightly said, he's a young player. He has to take the opportunity. He knows the Italian Serie A well. Cremonese,
Roma.
Got a bit of stint under Roma. Jose Mourinho got to work with him. Now this is another opportunity. Juventus themselves under this stage where they're trying to rebuild, trying to bring in young players and that kind of thing. So he should just take the opportunity because look, like you rightly said, when your agent It's powerful.
Yeah, he can fit you into
These are
places.
some of the things that works for you. Remember the Kevin Prince Boateng deal to Barca?
Yep.
How many matches did he play there? 5.
Yep. Forever on his resume.
Yes,
forever on his resume.
It is on his CV.
Yep.
So I think I want this to happen for him. I want it to happen.
I think he will find a way into the main team.
He's gone through a lot.
Yeah,
I think so.
He's gone through his time at the Black Stars.
Yeah.
There was a period where he was.
I don't think we've treated that guy.
Yeah,
We didn't treat him. Like I was saying, that World Cup that we took, Isaiah Kutu.
Yeah. He should have been.
He should have been a Finazan's World Cup.
That position should have been.
Exactly.
And I think it affected him a bit as well.
I mean, he came out. I think he put out some tweets.
And therefore, when we now wanted him to come and play for the under 23, you remember? He said he won't play.
There was we were going to play a CHAN tournament, and so I mean, it's a good move for him. He should take this. This should happen for him, and let's see how it unfolds at Juventus.
Let's talk about another move to Forest that's happened. James Ward-Prowse from West Ham. I think that's a loan deal.
Yeah.
Ward-Prowse, the dead ball expert, the guy who you can put your money on if there's a gun to your head and they say pick a free kick, pick a guy to take a free kick for you. 3 attempts, one must end up in the net. Ward-Prowse is your guy. He will net one. He will save your life. So he's moving to Forest. Guys, quick thoughts on that. Don't call me that move. I didn't see that move coming.
No, he has to because
West Ham is saturated now.
Lopetegui wants to play a different type.
He won't play dead ball expert for team.
No, on time crossy.
Lopetegui
for free kick sake. Charlie, this guy can win you a game out of nothing.
But as for Forest, they'll be happy.
They will. They should be. I like what Prowse on my team.
Who hit it long into the area for Chris Wood and Taiwo Awoniyi. And what's the name of that? Willy Bolly.
Yeah, big guy. So that move has happened. James Ward-Prowse, very solid move. We'll get into the conversation about some of the done deals. We'll try and see if we can rank some of the teams and the businesses that they've done. We'll also tell you about the most expensive deals that have been done in this window. Let me just go through the Premier League window, just so you know the outgoing signings.
It's shut, right?
Yes, it's shut. So it shut at 11 p.m. So that was like about 10 minutes ago. Yeah. So the Premier League window is officially closed. Actually,
it's officially closed.
Let me give you an idea of, like I said, some of the Premier League outgoings.
It may be officially closed.
Yeah, but
the deals.
But they are working. Yes, they are processing deals, definitely.
Like the Raheem Sterling one, we've not had the
time. He's actually having his medicals.
Yes. He's arrived at Arsenal's training ground, so that's not something that should be problematic. I think there are a couple of new deals also coming in as we speak. Okay, so the Nyama deal is confirmed. I think it's collapsed, actually. So this is the updates from the BBC. It says latest from Zini Boswell and Rob Dorset. And as Nyama's move to Fulham is off, with the winger now set to stay at Lyon. Nottingham Forest are understood to have also made an inquiry for Newcastle over Anthony Langa. Everton also held an interest in Nyama. Fulham are now hoping to sign Arsenal winger Reece Nelson. So they moved on from Nyama to Reece Nelson really quick. Nathan, just quick thoughts on that.
Told was going to issue.
Yeah.
It's quite disappointing that this hasn't happened. I don't know what the issue is. Some people are speculating an injury and all of that. Not too sure, but let's just hope that Lyon get themselves in order, because they brought in Zaha. It looks like Nyama is not going anywhere. Let's hope they get themselves together so Nyama can have a good season. I think that he should use this season to market himself, play well, get minutes, show what he can do, and see if other teams will line up for him, maybe January or maybe next year by this time when the main window opens again.
Okay, so as a new deal comes in, we'll update you. But let's now go through the biggest deals that have happened this window so far. This is not just restricted to the Premier League. This is across sport. So the biggest deal so far in terms of monetary value.
Decent figures.
Yes. So Julian Alvarez, Manchester City to Atletico Madrid, 64 million plus add-ons. That's the top of the pile. We have Dominic Solanke. I never thought you'd be top 3. AFC Bournemouth to Tottenham, 55 plus add-ons is also in there. And then you have, let me see, number 3, we have Lenny Yoro, Lille to Manchester United, 52 million plus add-ons. Pedro Neto, Wolves to Chelsea, 51 million plus add-ons, and then we have Joao Neves to Benfica to PSG, 50 plus add-ons. Amadou Onana, Everton to Aston Villa for 50 million. That was a very underrated signing. Moussa Diaby, Aston Villa to Al Ittihad. He moved for 50 million as well. Dani Olmo from Leipzig to Barcelona, 47.2 plus add-ons. Tune Coop Miners, Atalanta to Juventus. And then
that was one that I found quite interesting. I thought Coop Miners played very well for Atalanta last season.
Muniska, sell him. And then there's Michael Olise from Palace to Bayern. Joao Palhinha from Fulham to Bayern as well. Desiree Doué. This is a guy a lot of people don't even know. He's 19 years. He's a winger. He used to play for Rennes. He's moved to PSG for 42 million. Look, he's a very good player, though. I don't know if he can live up to the pressure of playing at PSG, but he's a really good player. Douglas Luiz, coach's own Douglas Luiz, moved from Aston Villa to Juventus. He's also gone to Juventus, 42 million. That's a big loss for Villa, I think. Manuel Ugarte comes in at number 14 for 42 million. Joao Felix is at number 15. Chelsea, Atletico to Chelsea. And then you have 16, you have Endrick to Real Madrid from Palmeiras. Max Kilman, Wolves to West Ham. That's 40 million. And then Jorginho Rata, Leeds to Brighton. That's a move that have not been spoken about. Willian Pacho, Frankfurt to PSG. And then Matthias de Ligt, Bayern to United. Guys, your biggest transfer of the window. Coach, let me start to you.
Wow.
Biggest transfer of the... It doesn't even have to be any of these big names. A player that you think is significant, a player that you think is underrated, a player that you think will have a big impact at the team they've moved to. It could be from this list as well.
I think it has to be Manuel Ugarte.
The Uruguayan international.
The Uruguayan international. I think he brings something that
you've wanted for a while.
United as a football club has missed for a while. Look, for all those who watch the likes of Roy Keane, I think he mimics Roy Keane perfectly. The desire, the drive, the anger, the willingness to get the job done.
You can barely go wrong with the Uruguayan number 6.
It's what? And
you can barely go wrong with the Uruguayan number 6.
Played in that Uruguayan team alongside Federico Valverde. Then you understand what I'm talking about. I think, in my view, he will be the signing of the season because he makes this Manchester United team plays completely different type of football. And that is what signings are meant to do. If you are signing the player, he's
meant to come and make an impact.
And to solve the problem. So, look, if he settles down, that is the point I'm making. If he settles down, it's not going to be pleasant for those immediate competitors. I'm not saying Man United are going to win the league, but his presence alone, in my view, guarantees top 4 for Manchester United. So, I think he will be the signing.
Let me just give you an update of another signing. So Real Betis have completed a signing of Tottenham's Giovanni Lo Celso. Permanent deal. 8.4 million for the Argentine international. Very surprising, Nathan. Lo Celso, he's a good player.
I thought
I like him.
He's always been on the peripheral.
I thought he was going
to play as a CM, AMC, left wing.
Get a good crack. Because I thought last season he played well, especially when Chelsea when Spurs went to Man City, that game at the Etihad, he played very, very well. But, like I always say, the Premier League is not for everybody. I guess he just wasn't finding his feet and all of that. They've moved him to an environment
where
that helps. And then, Ange Postecoglou looks like he has his team set. So those who are not getting the minutes, he's moving them on.
So Giovanni Lo Celso. That's a deal that has happened. So Ipswich move for Reece Nelson as Arsenal winger had a change of heart. Interesting, very interesting. Charlie, change of heart.
Saw the future.
Interesting. And Ipswich also had a bid for Chelsea's Armando Broja fall through. What's going on with Armando Broja, Gabi? That's a player I thought Chelsea wanted to move on, get some money in. What happened with that?
It's difficult for me to say. He's never
been injury prone. Injury prone player.
That stability.
Decent guy when he's fit. Actually, I like him when he's fit.
He would have created for Chelsea. A striker that can give you a lot of options. His stature, plays the ball well with his feet, but clearly, like you said, the injuries worried him a bit, and I think that is unstable with him a bit. And so I'm not too surprised Chelsea are trying to move him on to try and get him that game time he would be hoping for in other teams. Yeah.
Let's talk about Anthony Martial for a bit. He didn't attract.
He did it.
Good. Yeah, United were seriously trying to offload Anthony Martial. Some way, somehow, they did not find any suitor.
Anthony Martial, you see, if you say United are trying to move him,
he's a free agent.
Martial's contract ended.
He's a free agent.
Yeah. So let's talk about a few of the free agents. Memphis is in the mix as well. He was also hoping.
Please, when you finish, I want to tell you about a player Kotoko signed not too long.
Oh, why would you do that?
Why?
Don't call me.
Okay, so let me just give you an idea, guys. While we are at the we are patching up transfer. Let me tell you about free transfers that are still available. If your club needs a player, these are the players you should be looking at if you need to show up your team. Adrian Rabiot, still free, looking for a team. If you need,
is that a Rabiot? You don't mean where wife being, is it?
His mother, actually.
His mother.
Veronique
Rabiot.
Very feisty woman.
No.
Icardi's wife was his agent.
Yeah.
This is Rabiot's mom is his agent. The one who was
Veronique Rabiot.
She was getting into it with Paul Pogba's mother.
The day Adrian Rabiot left PSG,
yep.
Right? The people at PSG threw a party. Because it means that for the first time in like 2 or 3 years, they didn't have to see Veronique Rabiot. Hey! If you're a club dealing with Veronique Rabiot, it's a problem.
So that's it. Matt Hummels is also a free agent, a player that your teams should be looking at if you want to show up your defense. And then we can talk about Martial, the one and only, the one-time guy who had a Ballon d'Or clause inserted into his contract.
You see, Jose Mourinho, many years later, you know, he has this thing he said about the players in his time who were giving him problems.
Yep.
He said 3 phrases. Where they play.
Okay,
How they
so
play.
Raheem Sterling's move to Arsenal is officially confirmed.
Wonderful. So where they play, how they play, and if they play. Yeah. That's what Jose Mourinho said about the players who he felt were giving him problems.
All of them, including Bewa.
He says
Bewa is playing for Adana Demir
where
now.
they play, how they play, and if they play.
Yep.
So he says,
watch them.
He says, if a player, all the players I get rid of, where do they eventually end up? How do they play when they leave? And if they even get some of the football
to play. Good one. Memphis Depay is also available on the free agent market. You can take Memphis. Andre Gomez is available.
Yeah, ex-Everton.
Joel Matip.
Oh, bro.
Free agent.
You know, see inside.
30. Oh, no, Charlie. His time has passed. Bamidele Ali.
Oh, Charlie.
He says he'll play for England again soon. Bamidele Ali.
England's which team?
Yeah, Charlie.
England's video game team.
Oh, don't do this. Mario Hermoso is available. I think the team was trying to do.
Madrid.
Yeah, Hermoso available on free. Willian is also a free agent now. Brandon Williams is a free agent now. Sergio Ramos, the man whose name has become synonymous with defending people. Sergio Ramos, 38-year-old Sergio Ramos, also still available on the market. And then, of course, I'm surprised this guy's available because he has a killer agent, Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. He has one of the best agents out there anywhere.
We'll get him
agents need to know.
Rest assured that, no, Choupo-Moting, just relax. Give Choupo-Moting like 30 days at most. Choupo-Moting will be at a cool club, earning cool dough, coming on cool minutes and scoring interesting goals. Maxim Choupo-Moting has always been that guy. So let me read a few messages. Quite a number of messages coming in. Let's take off all the old field and get new ones. Okay, Nana from Kwashima says, guys, before you end, can you tell us your favorite transfer stories? The funny ones could be local or international. I think that would be
man, I have a local one for you.
Mine is Arsenal adding £1 to 40 for Suarez. That's. I think we have a few interesting transfer stories.
I think it was £1 to 50.
Yeah, this one says Ten Hag has absolutely no excuse now. 0. Make it work. We stood behind you, and now it's time to deliver. He makes the pressure mount, and he's off by December. Set off from Toronto.
No Charlie.
But this one he says, tell coach that every defender in the top team in the EPL is going to be scared of the Liverpool forward this season once Chiesa has come to Anfield. Leslie texting from East Legon Hills.
Chiesa is the problem.
Chiesa's quality.
He's quality, but he's highly incrodistic. No, it's a fact.
Oh, coach, that's
He just had
No,
one.
he's-
But last season he played a lot of football. Actually,
Yeah,
last
he
season
played
apart from
33
so the
games.
ACL he had and he recovered. Last season he played a large chunk of.
played a lot of football.
Like Van Chan.
No, but
True.
33 games.
How was his performance? He didn't do any extraordinary thing.
it's 33 games. 10 goals.
Oh,
Wow, hold on. There's an interesting transfer here. So Sebastian Haller
Hey!
has joined
Yeah, man.
Leganés.
Yeah, man.
Leganés, I didn't know it's in the Segunda.
Yeah, Segunda.
What?
he's left Dortmund?
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, but that's interesting because Bayern have now gotten rid of Fulkrug. Haller is gone.
No, Dortmund, you mean?
Dortmund, Fulkrug, Haller. Oh, that's very interesting. So that's the lowdown. Nathan, is this a surprise? He's 30 years old.
A bit of a surprise. I felt that he was still decent. For
Dortmund, what are they looking for? They've sold the German striker.
yeah, Fulkrug has gone to West Ham. I'm quite surprised they didn't keep Ale. I figured he would still have a lot to prove at the highest level, but it looks like he's moved on to.
So Liverpool, they won't sign a DM.
It's over. Maybe they can go and get the French boy. He's on free.
Rabiot.
No, that guy is not good enough for Liverpool.
Oh, what?
He's not good enough. He's not good enough. Let me get into transfer. Gabby, which transfer stories?
Charlie, Kotoko is signing hybrid of Mbappe and Neymar.
Yeah, he said, the guy
Wisdom.
He says his style of playing is a mix.
But see the guy. The guy said 22 years. See this guy.
Can I see this?
No more. Charlie,
but what is the meaning of this?
No, but
Charlie, no, but I'm sure you have a few transfer stories, local transfer stories about interesting things that have happened.
What is his name? So that when his name
Fernando Wisdom Bassi.
Fernando.
No, you should, coach. You should go and
But
watch.
he says his play style is a blend of what? Vinny Jr.
Mbappe and Vinny Jr.
He said that.
You know what the funny thing about it? If you have facial expression.
Charlie. Wait.
I foresee your face again. No, tell the team I see.
See,
how old is he?
Ben, 22 years.
22 years.
See, I think no.
Come on here, man.
The most serious
The man is 22 years.
I think we need to watch him out this season. No, because he'd be fantastic footballer. He's got good numbers. I checked his numbers. He's got good numbers for his former side.
Wait.
And you see, this season, Kotoko are doing really some exciting signings.
No, the part of the
And
thing
this
that
is the
kills me
latest
says his style is a blend
hybrid
between
of Mbappe and Vinny.
Mbappe. Like, what does he mean by a mix of Mbappe and
He's
Vinny?
playing above Real Madrid.
It's not serious. Nathan, talk to me about a move that Okay, so Leganés are in La Liga actually. They're in La Liga. So Sebastian Haller back to leaves Dortmund for La Liga. Everton. They say Everton have submitted a deal sheet to sign Armando Broja from Chelsea. So loan plus 30 million buy option. Looks like that move might happen. So those are the deals that get done in the background, just so they try and complete it after everything has been transferred. So very interesting move. Chelsea, unfortunately, the Chalobah move. I think I saw Trevor Chalobah move.
Palace
on loan.
Wow. How many defenders do they have? How many centre backs do they have now?
So now they have like.
So they brought Maxence Lacroix. They have Chalobah.
15.
They have McGahey.
Yeah, they've sold the boy from Denmark. I think Anderson or something.
Okay.
Like that.
Yes.
He's left. So I think it's okay.
Interesting deals happening there. Let me just go through a few of the done deals for you, just so you are abreast with what's been going on this transfer window. Lots of done deals actually. Deadline day deals as well. Let me just quickly refresh your mind. So when you take it from the top, as far as the Premier League, McTominay is one of those deals that has happened very recently. My own McTominay, Raheem Sterling has also happened. He's moved on to Arsenal. Chalobah, like we just mentioned, has moved on to Crystal Palace. Aaron Ramsdale is now at Southampton. So just in case you didn't know, Aaron Ramsdale is at Southampton.
And there's a very interesting
backstory.
Okay.
So last year, Aaron Ramsdale went to the Southampton end of year party. He went there because his very good friend he went to David Brooks.
Yeah.
David Brooks is very good friend. And he went there dressed
in
as
a disguise, right?
The Harry Potter character Hagrid. The players found it quite interesting, but they say the kind of reception he got, that the people were very nice to him. So it kind of sowed the seed there. And eventually when they came back, it made it easier for him to agree to whatever offer it was on the table. So he's made that permanent switch from Arsenal to Southampton. I think he goes straight into their goal post. I think he becomes their number one goalkeeper. Because if there's anything Southampton do not have, it's proper quality in between the sticks. They are candidates for relegation.
Yep.
Looking at what they are looking at, just when you watch them play, you can tell that this team is not ready for the Premier League. And their manager is stubborn. He says they'll keep playing the expansive way. They want to get relegated. So I guess they want to ensure.
Say their manager.
Russell Martin.
It's Russell Martin. Played the same. It got them up. But you see, the Premier League is a wicked league. It's a very dangerous,
very unforgiving
league.
league.
So if you show up,
Is that not the same thing McKenna is also doing with Ipswich?
Don't worry. The realization will slap him very soon.
Let me stay with you on your transfer of the window so far. As far as it could be underrated, it could be a big transfer, it could be based on impact. Just your transfer of the window so far.
Arsenal's acquisition of Calafiori really struck me. For a team, we spoke a lot about, Arsenal will need a number 9, blah, blah, blah. For them to go out there and sign Calafiori, of course, the transfer had been in their works for months. They had been looking at him for a while. As of last season, they were very clear in their mind this was the player they wanted.
Yep.
I think the Euros only confirmed what they wanted to know. But for me, just seeing a team that we all thought needed a striker, but it's a centre back they went to get, a left-sided centre back, clearly tells you that when Arsenal looked at all the problem areas they had, looking at in their grand scheme, that left-hand side of defense needed something more. Even though Julian Timber has come back and he's playing, getting somebody to be an option down that left-hand side is, for me, it's just proper problem realization and then making that signing to solve that particular problem. So I think the Calafiori signing jumps out at me as a signing that I think is great. The most surprising signing is Julian Alvarez to Atletico. As to how much
I've never seen that coming.
I did not see it coming. And it almost as though City...
And it happened very quickly.
Very, very quickly. City did not dance around the issue. Okay, you want to leave, no problem. They took their money and he's gone. And, they'll have to figure their way out. So I will give Arsenal plaudits for just solving that problem. If we talk about Man United, yes, they needed to solve lots of problems and they've tried to address. But for Arsenal, just seeing that particular area and making a direct move to try and fix the problem for me is top stuff.
Gabi? Top.
Let me start with
transfer.
the Julian Alvarez.
Okay.
Move to Atletico Madrid. Do you know it's when you look at Alvarez, the profile player he is, it's the kind of strikers Diego Simeone likes. Look at the strikers Atletico have had in the last few years.
Reminds me of Sergio Aguero a lot.
Aguero, good. Diego Forlan. Diego Costa. Maybe Fernando Torres is a bit... Torres himself. And Alvaro Morata is the one I'll take out. Because he was a bit very direct.
Wasa.
That kind of thing.
All the strikers you have mentioned, Nunkwana Wasa. That's don't even
so I think it's a good move for me. And I listened to Pep speak about him because apparently the player wanted more playing time. He wasn't going to be second fiddle to what Haaland did last season. There's a new season. He wants to play, keeping in mind that there's a World Cup coming 2026. He would want to get some minutes. And the place to get that minutes is ATL. So that move was good for me. And the second one is Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher.
Charlie, did you see the unveiling?
Charlie,
my God.
Yeah, you are Kobibi.
My God.
Yeah, you are. Atletico showed us that, look, we've brought in a star. A star Chelsea say, bye-bye, Yempel. We like you.
Yeah.
And, you see, I like it when teams sign players and they look at the player and say, like, this is the big thing. This is the next big thing we think that can do whatever I want to do. And it fits into what Simeone will want to do. Conor Gallagher will not have that flair, that whatever, to thrive under Maresca. But on the other side, on the positive note, he works for for Simeone. So I love the unveiling they did. I'd want to see him shine. And like Nathan said, it looks like a lot of the English players are making moves outside. And if there's a playing time guaranteed somewhere, pick it up. And I think that's what Connor has done. So I think that those were some of the moves that really caught my attention. And then the final one would be Federico Chiesa to Liverpool. A lot of dynamism.
Chief Chiesa.
Yes, a lot of dynamism. Afro he's bringing for Liverpool.
Plus.
Yes, last week on Channel One TV, I mentioned it to Jude that if Liverpool want to rack up more goals this season, they need to bring in some more firepower. And they've brought in, Coach may say he's incredulista or whatever.
I'm not the one saying
it.
He's highly incredulistic.
But I think that.
The one saying it.
But I think that. But I think that But I think Liverpool have brought in another good player.
Yeah.
He gives them a lot of options up front. And if you look at the way Arne Slot wants to play his football, he may not be that out number 9, but he gives Liverpool so many options to think about. Can slot him in anywhere. So I think that was one of the moves that caught my attention. I really like it.
Just staying on the Conor Gallagher thing. Do you know, in that whole mix, do you know the people who walk away the happiest?
No.
Atletico Madrid. Yeah. Because the biggest financial burden they've had in the last few years is gone. Joao Felix.
But I think they ran losses on that deal. They signed him from some obscene money.
But you see, they're happy because, look, Joao Felix was never a good fit. He had moments like Chris said about Jadon Sancho. You could count the number of great moments Felix had with Atletico. In the last few years, Ben, like the last year or two, his relationship with Diego Simeone was beyond repair. So they are happy that they've managed to finally get him away from the team. He's gone back to Chelsea. They'll take whatever amount Chelsea gives them. They get Conor Gallagher, who come and run around. As for them, they like runners. So they are getting a runner.
Okay. Abeku,
Jordan Ayew.
Oh, Jordan.
Yeah,
patriotic guy.
Crystal Palace to Leicester City. I feel it's about playing time. We saw the goal he scored from outside the box, and that was decent to announce his presence. It's more of playing time and where he wants to play as a player, and fitting into a certain modular and style of play that will fit into Black Star Coach Otoado's system and what have you. And I learned that his brother also motivated him to move to that direction, Leicester, his senior brother Andre, and it's sitting well for him, per minute to the Black Stars pitch, because he really want to do something with the Black Stars before he finally also gets out. You can clearly tell that Coach Otoado, for example, it's really not bringing Andre back when the question was put to him. The way he narrated the audio seemed like Andre is simply out of the team. You're considering the young guy. So Jordan moving to Leicester, I feel it's in there.
Big deal.
Manchester United getting in Matthias de Ligt, I feel it's excellent. I feel it's excellent.
Huge steal.
I'm telling you.
Huge steal.
This is a player that Bayern themselves had they were in a dilemma because a party said, look, this guy should stay. He's not a player that we should look at him and think he's an ordinary player and be treated the manner and the fashion in which we are treating him. He was a fan favorite as well. So for Manchester United, and he has a bit of leadership qualities in him, I see. So to come into the Manchester United team, and in that area where there's a lot of problems, a lot of injuries as well in that past campaign, I feel it's sitting well. My solid transfer for a sweet club like Manchester United.
Okay, let me tell you about my picks of the summer. I don't even involve money. First one is Savinho to Manchester City.
Smooth.
I think that is a very criminally underrated move. He played. He was owned by Troy. Sent on loan for 2 seasons and then bought for 30 million. He's literally being bought by the team that owns his team. Like Man City own Troy, and so they are basically getting their own player in. But I think that's a very underrated move. Looking like Mahrez already. I'm not sure how it will eventually play out when it is all said and done, but I like that move for them. And then you can also talk about a very interesting move. Guys, do you guys know that Philippe Coutinho has moved on with his life? Just so you know, he's gone to Vasco da Gama. Just so Charlie Coutinho, one wrong career move can literally take you down.
Liverpool, Barcelona.
Yeah, I think that's a transfer that I didn't see coming. But one more on underrated moves. I like this move very much. Matthias De Ligt, I think Abeku mentioned that. I want to treat them as the same move. De Ligt and Mazraoui. Look, I think United robbed Bayern Munich. I don't know how they did it. and this is because I don't typically credit Man United for doing
because United do horrible business.
So I feel like this for United fans. Never mind that you overpaid for Lenny Yoro, but I also think that the conditions around Lenny Yoro really would have forced United's hand, especially if you are looking at a talent like that. Because you leave him and he ends up at Real Madrid.
The next year he will
go. So you have to buy him. So fair enough. But how United pulled off Mazraoui and De Ligt for under 60 million, I think needs to be studied. Look, never mind that both guys have not even excelled yet or have not rolled out the output yet, but I feel like those two players will they will be average at worst. Like at worst, they will be average. They won't get any worse than that. So for Manchester United, like I'm saying, I know they believe you people like that when it comes transfers, but this one, you people really shocked me. Like, those are like really shrewd moves. I didn't see those coming.
And the deal, especially the De Ligt one, it's really upset some people at Bayern Munich. Former players Lothar Matthäus and they have really bashed the club as to how they
let a player like that walk for that kind of fee.
Like that.
They left Upamecano. Angapadi ake young mawa. Upamecano. Una dane use. You know in trouble.
Later explain to them. Coach is saying.
It will say.
It has a heavy backside.
Upamecano. When he's running.
Charlie,
you know, so that's the thing. Bayern Munich themselves. And following the, I think that if you read the inside story, after that, Vincent Kompany said it is not true. He didn't tell
them to sell him.
But the bottom line is that the club quickly had to come to a decision. And, they decided to move. Not because he was a bad player, but it's just one of those things. The money was good. And United, you have to credit Man United because for the very first time in ages, they were able to pull off very sensible transfers in terms of the money. And then they got the players in. But what I give them credit for are the sales they've made.
Yeah.
They've managed to make about £100 million in player sales.
Never happened before.
Yes, and they've inserted all kinds of interesting clauses in the players, contract as they leave. Some of them have buybacks. Others have sell-on clauses. So whatever happens, United are putting themselves in a position where they can benefit a few years down the line, either by a player coming back or they get to benefit a lot more when the player is sold. That's what clubs do these days. And United have been going around in circles, appointing the wrong people, making the wrong moves. So credit to them. They've done well. It looks like the people they've brought in know their footballing work. And already we can see that they are doing well on the money side, i.e. knowing how to sell, when to sell, get value and all of that. They've brought in players. So this season we'll see how all of those players fare. Ugarte, Lenny Yoro, the two players from Bayern Munich, and then De Ligt Mazraoui, and then the youngster, the Malian, Sekou Kone.
Sekou Kone is going to the academy side, right?
Well, the story
they're not considering him,
but they said they will send him there for him to get used to it. The football in England, and then I get the feeling should he acclimatize very quickly, they move him very close to the first team.
Guys, I forgot one deal I thought was really underrated. Not a very popular player. Played at the Euros. If you saw him, he's gone to Brighton and Hove Albion for 25 million.
The Turkish international.
Yes, Ferdi Kadioglu.
Oh, Ferdi Kadioglu.
Oh my goodness. Charlie, very underrated. Like
he's a good player.
I don't know how big teams are. I don't know what it is with big teams and their unwillingness to like pick up some of these guys.
Manchester United.
This guy can play as a left back, as a right back, as a left winger, right winger, left foot, right foot. Like good dribbler, good crosser of the ball, good juggler. I'm not sure how Brighton do these things, but they always seem ahead of the curve in terms of signing players. Let's take another quick break here. Our final break here. When we come back, we'll tie it all up together. We'll take final thoughts. We'll read some more messages, and then we'll take the show home. Stay with us here. Transfer deadline day. Don't call me. We're wrapping it up.
One place, made for sale, 120 cheap.
Get ready for the ultimate battle of business minds at the Citi Business Olympics 2024. Join us for a day of intense competition, team building, and networking as companies go head to head in the various challenges to prove their skills and expertise. From traditional sports like seven-a-side football, basketball, sack race, and volleyball to unique challenges like tug of war and arm wrestling, there's no shortage of excitement and adrenaline pumping action. Don't miss out on this exciting event that will test your business acumen and athletic skills on the field. Date Saturday 28th September 2024. Venue Eden Heights Sports Complex, Wager. Time 8 a.m. Call 0558 973 973 for details on how you can participate and showcase your company's talents at the Citi Business Olympics 2024. Get ready to compete, collaborate, and conquer. The Citi Business Olympics 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM and proudly sponsored by Piva Beverages, Blue Jeans Energy Drink, and Bethel Logistics, experts in shipping logistics.
Are you searching for a world-class conferencing facility to elevate your next event? Do you need a bougie look for that all-important corporate, board meeting, or private social event? The Alisa Hotel Pavilion at Northridge. Our expansive conference center comfortably seats 1,000 persons in a theater-style setup. This makes it ideal for large conferences and exhibitions. Where there is the need to break out, the conference center seamlessly converts into 2 separate breakout rooms. With the importance of seamless technology integration, our facilities are equipped to support your audiovisual needs. Looking for an oasis of bliss? Saunter into our Oasis Lounge and enjoy your juicy lamb chops, steaks, and burgers. We have alfresco dining for nature lovers in our lush manicured lawns. The Alisa Hotel Pavilion, where great minds convene and beautiful memories are created.
Nominations are open for the 8th edition of the prestigious Ghana Energy Awards until August 30th. Under the theme, the role of local content in building Ghana's energy sector. Categories for this year include the Energy Personality of the Year, Energy Company of the Year, and many more.
Visit www.GhanaEnergyAwards.com.
Endorsed by the Ministry of Energy and the World Energy Council Ghana. Media partners, Joy FM, Graphic News Plus. For sponsorship inquiries, please call 030-3940-300. Ghana Energy Awards, 8 years of redefining excellence.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah.
Here's to the friends who dialed star 712 hash and found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold. To the health workers who diagnosed luck with precision. To the tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now, here's to you. Your next big win is right here.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone.
Dial star 712 hash. Now join in the luckiest winning celebration. Every 1st July 2024. Over dial star 712 hash. Now I to take it through as a group, individual, and now even as a community. Now when Nistika gets here, prizes are here in the community draw or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 hash. Now join in the winning streak now.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
City 97.3. Accra.
For the striker we can consider.
Welcome back. We're wrapping up the show here. I have a host of predictions here. Jackson Apia says Liverpool 4, United 1. Patrick Akpo says Man United 2, Liverpool 4. Faith Kwashi, Michael Boabeng, Kwame Asare Menako, Lambert Nana Kwame, Evans McNally, Glover Na, Michael Arani, I think the name is. Okay, so we have it. We'll keep all of these. We have some too in our soft copy. So all of that. Once the game is done, whoever gets that prediction right, we'll pull it out. We'll give you a jersey. Also, quickly run you through the most money spent by clubs this window. Which clubs have spent the most money this transfer window? Bayern Munich leading the way with 121.5 million pounds spent. So Michael Olise, Joao Palhinha, big investments. They brought in a couple of other players. Brian Zaragoza in the mix as well. So that's quite an amount of money spent. West Ham United also spent big money. They brought in the likes of Max Kilman, who was the most expensive amongst their deal. They brought in Guido Rodriguez, not a player
the Kilman signing is a Lopetegui signing. They work together at Wolves.
Yep. And they brought in Guido Rodriguez from Real Betis as well, Argentine international. Not a lot of people are talking about him. I think he will light up the league if he gets a chance. Tottenham coming at 8th, having spent a lot of money, 129 million. Solanke obviously the biggest outlay for them, and then they also had Wilson Odobert join from Burnley. You look at Juventus, they had Douglas Luiz, Coop Miners, and Kefren Turam.
That was a move that also.
Kefren Turam.
No. The Douglas Luiz is really surprised.
I'm surprised Villa would let a player like that go, but what do I know? When you look at Juventus, I mentioned that already. PSG. 50 million for PSG are buying a lot of young players for a lot of money. So 50 million for Joao Neves, who is 18 years, and then another 18 years for Desiree Doué. So 42 for Desiree Doué. Then William Pacho. So none of the players PSG actually bought are 20 years old, and all of them cost about 40 million. So PSG spending a lot of money there, banking on the future. And then you have Aston Villa coming in at 5th. So Premier League clubs dominating the big money leagues. And look at the Premier League club. You realize we don't have a Man United, a Chelsea. We have West Ham and Aston Villa in the mix so far. 150 million spent by Aston Villa. They brought in Ian Matson. They brought in Amadou Nana for 50 million. That was the obvious big one. Barene Chair, Enzo, and then Louis Dobbin as well. Samuel Ailing Jr. from Juventus. So that's quite a number of players in there. Atletico Madrid have spent quite an amount of money. Conor Gallagher and Julian Alvarez, big outlays, obviously. You have number 3, Man United. Okay, so have spent 180 million. So it was from 10. I'm going down to number 1. United at number 3. 180 million spent. Lenny Euro, Joshua Yaxi, Zexi, Masraoui, Delete, and now Ugarte. Quite expensive signings there. Brighton and Hove Albion are at number 2 in terms of money spent this summer. Now they got hold of players like Celtic's Matt O'Reilly. They bought Jorginho Rata, Ferdi Kadioglu, like I mentioned. Yakubu Minteh returned. So in there, Osman, Ghana's own Ibrahim Osman was part of the mix as well. And then you go to Chelsea. So Chelsea at the top of the pile. Big spenders again, leading the money league again. Dewsbury Hall for over that deal didn't make any sense. It still doesn't make sense to me, but what do I know?
I like how you put it.
No, it doesn't make any sense to me. What do I know there? What do I know? Pedro Neto, big money signing. Joao Felix, big money signing in there as well. But the Joao Felix signing is a very funny signing for me. I still think that people are still waiting for him to, like, the idea of him to catch up with his ability. We'll see if that will eventually happen or it won't, because
I know whether it was using that the idea of Joao Felix.
It's always been better than the reality. Like when he broke out first, when Atletico were signing him for all that money, I thought he was going to be a serious showstopper, but hasn't happened. But coach, you've heard it all. Premier League signings, other signings.
How much money did Chelsea spend?
Chelsea spent 181 million. 181. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. Are you satisfied with the business they've done?
At the end of the day, for me, Chelsea, I'm not too satisfied because I think they didn't need to buy that much. They should have channeled the money into solving their obvious problems. And for me, I don't understand why they've spent this amount of money and they didn't acquire a proper number 9. That money, if you go and show 70 million euros to Napoli and give Osimhen 300,000 pounds a week, he comes to Chelsea. He solves a problem. In fact, the major problem in your team is solved. They didn't do that. So I'm a bit disappointed. And I'm very sure that we'll come back to these things. I will say you don't spend the most money and
still not have a proven goal scorer.
True. So for me, I completely disagree. On the part of Manchester United, truth be told, they had issues to address. They came out of...
And you always complain that United should do major clear-outs and bring in like major imports. They've not cleared everybody, but they've done a good chunk and brought in some decent players.
The only guy who didn't come is Sheikh AI. That would have changed
That would have changed everything, no doubt. I think the players that needed to be cleared out that stayed, Maguire, Lindelof,
Martial?
No, he's gone. He went on.
Oh, he's free, yeah.
Maguire, Lindelof, and I think Casemiro, Charlie Eriksson stayed at the club. I just can't believe that. I think, look, he should have left.
Everything will have a hard time getting a club.
No, but Ajax showed an interest. I think he should have allowed that to materialize so that he will not go. It's because of the money that he didn't go, because he's on a £150,000 a week.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Ajax is not giving him that kind of money.
Maybe because Scott McTominay is gone now, he will be given the role to play as a number 10 and then occasionally to come and supplement whatever Bruno will be doing. So, I mean, in a nutshell, another transfer window is gone. We will wait and see what the teams will do in January. And then it is what it is. Now it's time for the football. Everybody now
has gotten what they wanted.
Focus on the football and let go for it.
Let me leave the final. Nathan, your final words. You've also looked at United's business, Liverpool, Man City. I'm sure you can grade the business done by the various teams.
Like I said, everybody had several issues to solve. I think Liverpool, I thought that they would, maybe add a few more bodies. But Arne Slot looks at the team, he thinks it's fine. Of course, there are issues that will not be solved probably in the transfer window, can be sorted out as the season goes along, i.e. player extensions, Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, that kind of thing. I'm sure they'll think about it in the back. Adding Federico Chiesa is an absolutely brilliant move. A player who can play across positions, so he can fill in as and when people are not around. Low risk move, 50 million euros. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's only 15 million. You catch your losses and you move on. So I think that's a very sensible move. Arsenal have also added Calafiori to their team. I think it's a great addition. Jurgen Timber almost feels like a new signing. So they look really, really solid. I'm sure they want to give it another crack. Manchester City, I don't know how they are going to solve or close the gap that Alvarez left, but I get the feeling with Savio occupying one wing, it may, and I could be wrong, maybe Chris can help me, it may look like Phil Foden might be the secondary goal threat if he's fit, playing through the middle, either as a 10 or he will come in and also score the goals when Erling Haaland and Co are not around. So I think that teams have tried to just touch the squad lightly. It's United who needed to do some amount of surgery, and it looks like they've tried to do so with the 5 players they've brought in. They move players on. I never thought a day would come when Scott McTominay would leave Man United, but he's gone. So United have upgraded in the midfield area. The McFred pivot
is finally over.
The funny thing is that Fred and Amrabat have gone to unite with Mourinho at Fenerbahce. Very interesting.
United will meet them in the Europa League. I always ask for these European draws. They will always sell you storylines. Especially now that they can expand it. They will give us all kinds of storylines. But
Amrabat is going to Fenerbahce finally.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good
So I think that the teams, we haven't seen crazy spending. To be honest, we've seen windows where people have splashed. It looks like money no day. But some of the surprises like Sterling's move, Sancho, Ivan Toney, and then the drama around Osimhen where he was.
Osimhen, if Osimhen has not fired his agent by morning, he's not a serious player.
I think they play.
There's still a chance he can go to Saudi because
their window closes in October. But you see, because I think they played it wrongly.
September 2.
They played it wrongly.
Overestimated their value.
Yeah, they played it.
Anyway, let me read a few messages to close it out. This one says, so my Man United sold Sancho, no replacement. McTominay, no replacement. Pellistri, no replacement. We now have only 3 natural wingers praying for a decent season. Charlie, fans crowd, what do you people want? Hey, football fans, what do you people want?
That wouldn't make the team better.
Yeah, they needed to be wind off. I mean,
it's not about replacing them. They had to go.
This one from Kojo Jr. from Odumase Krobo. He says Alali can come back and sign Osimhen because the transfer. Yeah, it definitely does. So we'll see how it goes. This one here, I'm calling it next summer. I expect these players to move. Castel, Yukiba, Gonzalo Inacio. I thought Inacio would join Liverpool, but Liverpool are not serious, so fine. Nico Williams, Florian Wirtz. You have to pay 200 million for that. Antonio Silva, a player I like really well. Gerard Branthwaite, he's falling off this season a bit. He needs to find out last season form again to make him attractive. Max Sanz, Kakere, that guy played for I think Olympic Lyon there. Very solid DM. Okay. Very good. Piero Hincapi there. I think Venezuelan who plays for Leverkusen, left-footed centre back. You're right. These are actually some very solid names, but they all look like big money signings. You have to break the bank to get any of them. Charlie, thank you guys. The texters, my Instagram people, my YouTube people. Thank you, Nathan Kwa, Gabi Ofer, Abeku Ochre. Thank you, Coach Christopher Nimley.
Let me give one shout out.
Let me just big shout. Edwin Kwa Kofi, Yao Jamie Ta, Edem Kai. Thank you to all the crew. Tomorrow we'll do Premier League again. You see us here. You think because we'll be here.
The transfer deadline day and the next day Premier League is always
interesting.
It takes you a
autopilot thing, but we'll do it. We do a quick
I just want to say a big shout out to Shanton. The rabbit man.
Stephen Hammond.
Yeah, Stephen Hammond.
Charlie, it's been a minute.
Guy, Charlie. He's among the big guys that run Hub's Global Logistics.
Yeah, I tell Shanton that
it's a proper shipping company, Charlie.
Shanton, it's been a while, bring
royal meat to us.
We be okay, near no shape okay, abrochi,
Hannibal Abawe,
and rabbit.
We know how you do your things,
yes,
so let it happen.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Abeku, Gabi, everybody.
I just want to give shout outs to our Paralympians.
Okay.
So we have one lady who has gone through to the final, Zinabu Isa.
Okay.
Wow. And the women's discus throw.
Okay.
Yeah. So the proper Paralympians, they are doing
proper
Thank you for the clarification.
The proper Paralympians. Oh yeah, Frederick is also there.
My name is Benjamin Iketia. Thank you guys very much for hanging with us all throughout the show and for doing the listening. Also doing the viewing via YouTube. Tomorrow morning we'll be back with early kickoff. Arsenal Brighton on the Premier League. Next week, Sports Panorama will be back on your airwaves. Until then, take care of yourself and bye-bye.
Play $1,000. For the striker we can consider. We know this.